Good morning. Blue Jays freak Alexiot's here. That's right. Blue Jays freak. Weird. Blue Jays. Blue Jays freak. Blue Jays freak. Blue Jays freak. That's right. I know it's weird, y'all, but it is the off season. And, Dalano Banton was at the Blue Jays game last night. And I just decided to make it a weird Wednesday. Make it Blue Jays Wednesday. That's right. It's the Blue Jays freak. But I have to tell y'all something. The Blue Jays lost the Baltimore Orioles last night, 6-5 in the Rogers Center. And that's about all I know because I have no idea, nothing. I don't know anything about the Blue Jays like I do about the Raptors. And part of the reason why is because when I pay attention to the Blue Jays, like I did last night, they lose. So as a Blue Jays fan, I root for them in absentia because whenever I watch them, they start losing. So, Blue Jays fans out there, I respect our team by not giving them attention because when I do, they win. They do really well. So, I'm not going to be talking about the Blue Jays today, even though I said Blue Jays freak. It's just really to make it a weird Wednesday. But yeah, Dalano was at the Blue Jays game last night. He was looking pretty fit and tight with his curls, his dreads, and he had a lot of bling, a lot of really flashy silver bling on. It was amazing what Dalano was wearing at this game last night. And some of the fans were like, the Blue Jays are doing so bad. Can Dalano pitch? Like, he's got some good height. We could see if Dalano Banton can pitch the ball. That would be maybe an upgrade from what's happening out there on the field right now. But I don't want to diss the Blue Jays too much. I love the Blue Jays. I always root against the Yankees and the Red Sox, and I want the Blue Jays to be a top MLB team at all times. And I love Vlad Guerrero, and he may be the only player that I really know on the team right now. So, yeah, Blue Jays freak. It's Blue Jays freak. So Tom Duke saying, you knew I would do this. Yeah, you knew I would do this. Okay, so lots to talk about today. Lots of news in the Raptor world. Let me see. I got my little itinerary so I don't forget anything. First of all, the Phoenix Suns have taken Patrick Mutombo away from us and our G League team to assign him, he is now an assistant coach for the Phoenix Suns as of yesterday. Congratulations, Coach Mutombo. We love you. You are a badass. You were amazing for the G League this year in Mississauga. And we wish you well. Now, the Phoenix team is messed up. There's a lot of people leaving that team because of the culture being toxic, and people are retaliating against people that have been, whistleblowing. The way that place has been run with the toxic culture in it, they have been retaliating against employees who have said something about it. So it's a really bad situation there. So maybe somebody like Mr. Mutombo, who is no nonsense. I will tell you right now, Patrick Mutombo is a no nonsense man. He will set you straight. He will tell you like it is. He will tell you what you don't want to hear, but need to hear. And maybe they need more people like that in the Phoenix franchise. Maybe they needed Patrick Mutombo to keep DeAndre Ayton in line before it all went off the rails this past season. So congratulations, Coach Mutombo. And we always love to see that coaching tree of Nick Nurse starting to sprout those branches and go in all kinds of different directions, just like a Popovich coaching tree and stuff like that. So very interesting. Let's see. Shane Waters saying Blue Jays freak is just fine by me. See, there's a lot of crossover. We're a shared fan base. I love the Blue Jays immensely. My little brother, who was just here in town, he's leaving today. His birthday, he was born on the day the Blue Jays played their first game, April 7th, 1977. And you can always tell how old the Blue Jays are by asking my brother how old he is. So, yeah, we are very much Blue Jays fans, always have been since we were little kids in Toronto, and haven't changed. In fact, I'm such a Blue Jays fan. I watched the Atlanta Braves Blue Jays World Series in college at FSU in a college party where everybody else was rooting for the Atlanta Braves because the Braves were the more local team, and I was the only one rooting for the Blue Jays. And when we won that World Series that night, they chased me out of the house and down the street yelling at me. And I was all about it because they had won. Woo, we won the World Series. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. All right, Monique is here. I knew it. was coming for, they were coming for Patrick Mutombo. She knew it. Yeah, he was doing such a good job down on the 905 level this past season. He just has a really good grip on commanding a team and getting what he wants from it, as far as like being very clear and getting the respect of his players and the best out of them and really, really challenging them. So congratulations, Patrick Mutombo. We're proud of you, and on to bigger and better things. Hopefully you're going to do really good down there. And it'll be really interesting to see who we switch over to the 905 side on for the Raptors this year. Who's going to be coaching that? Could it be Nathaniel Mitchell? Could be, any of these assistant coaches from last year are more likely to be switched over there. So I would think maybe it's Nathaniel Mitchell. Maybe Nate Bjorngren goes over there. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to put over there, but it'll be interesting. All right, let's talk about Leonard Miller real quick. Leonard Miller has undeclared for the draft. He is going to join the G League Ignite for next season. I think this is the best move for him, honestly. I don't think he would be getting drafted in the right spot if he stayed in the draft right now. He may get way lower than he deserves. And this is really smart. If you're not going to go to college out of high school, it may be the best route now is to do the G League Ignite. We're seeing Jalen Green having a great success because he did that. It helped him with his draft position. So I think this is a smart move by Leonard Miller. He'll get the chance to play against the high-end, good talent of the G League with guys coming in and going in and out to the NBA, and that'll be good for him. He needs another year of schooling before he just jumps in that NBA pool. So good job making the right decision, Leonard Miller. I think it was the right one. It's the middle path. You're not going to college and making that commitment. You're not going straight in the NBA. You're going the middle path, the G League Ignite path. And good thinking. I think it's the right move. Let's see what's saying. Monique says, bring back Jerry Stackhouse. You know where? I don't even know where he is, Monique. Like, he must be an assistant coach for somebody's staff at this point, but I have no idea where he is. And I thought he was really good on that level. But, once again, most people in life, you should have this philosophy. If you've been somewhere already, why would you want to go back? That's your path behind you, that you need to go forward and continue to progress into new things instead of going back to what is familiar and comfortable and may not help you grow. So that's what I'll say about Stackhouse coming back. So Tom Duke saying, all right, you got brought up one of my itinerary on my list here to talk about. Montrezl Harrell caught with 3 pounds of Mary Jane. Might get a year in jail, but I doubt that. All right, I looked at this case, Tom Duke, and I really looked at it closely. He's in trouble. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's in big trouble. He is going to go to jail, and his NBA career may be over. And the reason why is because he got caught in a state that has zero tolerance. I'm going to tell you right now, I've driven through that county in Kentucky where he got arrested with 3 pounds of marijuana, and it is not weed friendly. When you drive into that county, it says zero tolerance on drugs. And it really is, there's certain places in Kentucky that base their whole economy around getting people in trouble for speeding tickets, getting speed traps, and doing all this kind of stuff. Well, they hit the jackpot with Montrezl Harrell. And there's a couple of problems right now with where Harrell is in his career. He's a free agent this summer, that he is not currently under contract with any team at this point, and nobody's going to touch him until this is over. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, if it had been personal, like if they had just searched him and found his personal stash that was on him at that time, he may be okay. He may have gotten a slap on the wrist, but this man was driving around with 3 pounds of marijuana. There is no excuse for that. That is not a personal amount of marijuana. That is a selling and distributing amount of marijuana. That 3 pounds, you understand how much 3 pounds is. 1 pound is already a grocery bag. So this man had about 3 pounds, 3 grocery bags full of weed in his car. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's zero tolerance. They're going to nail him. They're going to nail him. Kentucky will nail him because it's the state that got him. And this is not good for his career. In fact, everybody who's been in Raptors Nation calling out for us to get Montrez this summer, we need to be quiet. We do not need Montrezl Harrell because he's going to have a shitstorm of legal problems now. And I don't know, like maybe he'll get some good, big, highfalutin lawyers and be able to get through it okay. And I hope he does. I don't want him to be in trouble. I'm just telling you the optics and the way it looks from my own personal experiences in the United States, in the state of Kentucky, exactly. Not that I got arrested for 3 pounds of marijuana in Kentucky myself, But I have dealt with law enforcement in Kentucky, and I can tell you right now that is a red state, and they are not weed friendly. So Montrez, if you're going to get that to happen to you, do it in Colorado. Do it in Washington State, because you will get away with it there, but you will not in a county in a state like that. That's crazy. Yeah. Tom Duke's saying that probably is personal. It is not, Tom. There is no way that Montrezl Harrell would be driving around with 3 pounds of pot like that, and it's personal. Just take it from me, someone who has had pot in his life for decades now and knows all about the culture. That if you have that amount of pot on you, you are up to something that's not totally legal, especially in the state of Kentucky where marijuana is still illegal. There's not any legality for it. So, yeah, David's saying, why is he driving around with 3 pounds of butt? I have no idea. Maybe this syndicate or whoever he's working with or whoever he's with, they say, well, you're Montrezl Harrell. You could drive around with it and get away with it. Maybe he was being used as a mule by some other people. And it's too bad because they might have just messed up his NBA career. Let's see. Tom Duke's saying, I think he would share and have huge rockets for everyone. Well, listen, maybe he is the weed fairy. Maybe he is just giving a little dibble dabble of green around the whole neighborhood or something like that. But still, it's bad. It's very bad. See, the laws have to do with amounts, and that amount is a felony amount. And that he could be in jail for up to 10 years. That's the maximum sentence for the thing that he did. So it's not good. Not that I believe in jailing anybody for marijuana. I'm just talking about what the realistic situation is for him, because it's Kentucky, it's 3 pounds, and it don't look good. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, let's see. G saying, I don't understand. They're wealthy and famous. Why? Oh, listen, you got to understand this. That in the small towns, in the places there may be a little bit of pockets of Trump America, a little bit of racism, stuff like that. They want to nail big time celebrities like this. Think about how the investigators went after Kobe in Colorado with that whole deal like that. The law enforcement will go after heroes and things. This is a different thing than being rich and famous and having power and clout and making it go away. Now, if you're a black man and you're rich and famous and have some clout, they will go after you in some ways. Look at Tiger Woods. Look at Kobe Bryant. And I'm not saying that these people shouldn't have been gone after. I'm just saying they will. Don't act like they're not going to go after him because he's rich and famous, because they will. They will go after him. You know he will. Tom Duke is good morning, Click. Good to see you last night. Click was on the Scottie Barnes Twitch stream with us last night, and that was just fun to have a friend there with me. And we're going to get to that section of things. Click, we will talk about it. There may be some things you need to fill in for me because I wasn't fully there for the whole stream, and I hope that maybe you saw the stuff I didn't. Okay, Tom doesn't believe he's a mule. For what, a few $10? Who knows what it is? I don't know all the details. I am just speculating. To me, it really smacks of this, that he was doing a favor for people, or maybe it's his own business and he was transporting a huge amount of marijuana. And that's trafficking. That is trafficking for that amount. That amount. So it's crazy. Good to see you, Scott B. Haven't seen you a bit. Very happy to see you. Welcome to the Blue Jays Freak channel. Let's see. Tom Duke is saying $100. So you meant $100 and then $10. Either way, no amount of money is worth jeopardizing a multi-million dollar NBA career. I'm sorry. This is a knuckleheaded move. This is somebody who's not very smart in what he just did. You know, there's all kinds of other ways. If he had something to do with 3 pounds of marijuana, he shouldn't have been there, nowhere near it with what he was doing. And this could be the reason why the Washington Wizards traded him to Charlotte in the middle of the season. They found out how much of a knucklehead he is. This is knucklehead move. And now, like on my list, he's on my list to say I never want him on the Raptors, because he will do stupid shit like this again. Trust me, he will. If he doesn't get in trouble and go to jail. Let's see. 3 pounds is nothing. Raymond Jacob, what kind of life are you living downtown in the entertainment district of Toronto that you have 3 pounds of marijuana running around? That is a lot of marijuana. I'm sorry. This is not ounces. This is pounds. There's 16 ounces in a pound. So this man's running around with like 50 ounces of weed. So look at it that way, Raymond Jacob. He's running around with 50 ounces of weed. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Click saying, I'm not against smoking weed, but be smart. Exactly. We're not totally into this realm where it's totally free and like it is in Canada right now, and it's like there's no repercussions in a lot of ways. In the states, it's still half and half. There's some states that are progressive and they're moving towards more legalization, and then there's some states that they still make a lot of money off subjugating people with charges for marijuana, with fines and all this kind of stuff. And it's part of their economy. They get money off of drunk driving, speeding tickets, and pot charges. So this is not this is not good. Even though things are lightened up here in Toronto and it's less like a penalty, that's not the case in Kentucky, sadly. This is a red state and they have zero tolerance for drugs. And marijuana is still classified as a drug there. So yeah, it's not good for Montrez. He stepped in it. Monique saying Fred VanVleet extension talks. Okay, Monique wants to talk about Fred. He had an interview with CP24. Very interesting interview. Monique posted a little while ago on Facebook. If you follow her, you can go check it out. Just talking about being a family man, talking about his summer. He spent first couple of weeks of the off season vacationing with his family, really babying his knee a bit, not really working on it too much, but he's back at it now. He says he couldn't stay away for too long, and he really wants to get stronger and really have a nice, strong season of health this season. And he's also talking about his summer stuff. Like they're about to have Fred VanVleet week in Rockford, Illinois, and they're going to have a bowling tournament. They're going to have all kinds of different events, meet and greets and stuff like that with Fred VanVleet. So just happy to see him on the news, just giving us a little bit of attention, talking about what he's been doing this offseason. Now, as far as the extension talk, that is in the news also, that they are talking with Fred about extending his contract with the Raptors. And I looked at the numbers. It's like 110 over a certain amount of time. They'll figure it out. And once again, y'all, anybody who's arguing that Fred is not worth money going to him, we need to realize that salary caps in the NBA and the Raptors salary cap in particular has never been fully utilized. We've always been very conservative with our spending, that only in the championship year did we go over the cap in spending in different ways. And that if we invest money in Pascal, Scottie, Fred, OG, we can do enough to pay everybody and try and keep them all. So when you see Fred get an extension and maybe get more money, don't take it as we can't do some other stuff with other people. That's the big misnomer that people are falling in and saying, this is why I don't want Fred, because I want to have the money for Scottie or I want to have the money for OG and stuff like that. You need to realize there's enough for them all, and they just need to get their fair shares of the pie when they get them. Scottie's going to be going into that Supermax slot that Giannis should have been getting in the near future. And then after his rookie contract's over, we're going to hit him with the most money we can give him. So that's the thing we got to understand. There is enough. And don't get upset if Fred gets some crazy number this summer in his extension. That it's good. We want him here. He's our team captain. He's a huge linkage to our championship, first championship, and we need Fred around. Do not make him feel bad for getting this money, fans, by saying you're not worth it. We're saying we need it for other people because there's enough. Just trust me. All right. All right. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, seriously, if it's personal, for sure, just leaving that around for the folks he hangs with. There's no excuse for this. He should know. Like, how old is he? How much has this been still a legal thing in the United States? He's not protecting. He's not watching his back. He's not looking out for himself. And this is just a knuckleheaded, stupid move. And now his career is in jeopardy. Seriously, this man may never play in the NBA ever again because of this. And he had a great season last year. And this is sad. It's sad. It's the laws in the country of the United States is not caught up with things on marijuana issues. And that he may be in the wave of the bad stuff at the end. It's like, this is bad, but he should have covered his ass better. Seriously. All right, let's see. 2 players found with drugs in a week. Who else? Click. I believe the other one was whatchamacallit on Charlotte. It was Bridges. It was Miles Bridges. He got in trouble last week for being really tore up on TikTok or something like that. Let's see. Hopefully not Harris. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Most just get others to get it for them, and when it's personal for them and their friends. Snoop has two players he pays $50,000 to roll them. See, he has personal rollers, Snoop Dogg, that just roll joints for him and give them to him when he wants them. That's a fantastic job. Wouldn't you like to get paid $50,000 a year just to roll joints for Snoop Dogg? Be working overtime though. You would be. Yeah. But this is true. G is exactly right. This man should have an entourage. This man should have other people taking risks like this for him and not him himself driving around doing this shit. Montrez, this is not smart. Seriously, it's just not smart. Flop's here. Good to see Flop. Hey, Alexi, sorry I can't catch you more often. I usually have work meetings when you go live. That's all right, Flop. It's like catch me when you can, and then also just catch me later. And I hope you've been enjoying the content lately. I've been really trying to make it fun, and there has been a lot of interesting things happening for the middle of the off season. Lots of interesting stuff. But today's a weird Wednesday because I'm the Blue Jays freak today. I'm the Blue Jays freak. This is my Roy Halladay Remembrance Black Blue Jays hat. I really loved Roy Halladay. And when he died in that plane crash, it made me very sad. And this is my remembrance hat. I wear the black Blue Jays hat in his honor because I miss him. And it's so sad. G saying 2 employees. Yeah, you meant 2 employees about rolling the joints. Yeah, it's Miles Bridges, who's the other guy who's a little bit in trouble with his career. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Raymond Jacobs saying, I remember when Genius D'Angelo hid weed in a fake pop can and brought it on a plane. Yeah, there's always going to be some weird way that we can mess you up. Listen, don't travel on planes with weed. Don't go across borders with weed. Just really, really respect the laws of the different states that you're in. If you're in Colorado, hey. If you're in Colorado, hey. If you're in Ontario, hey. But if you're in Kentucky, no, don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. Yeah, Tom Duke said, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? And I don't be no reggae. All right, so I had to do a little inner circle there for a second. Monique saying Summer League roster should be out in a few weeks. That's cool. I'm on the Twitch. Once again, Scottie was twitching last night, 6:30 till like about 11 o'clock last night. He was on the Twitch playing the video games. I'm going to give you the full report soon. Trust me. But yeah, so people keep asking Scottie, you can play in Summer League. He's not going to be playing on Summer League. Trust me. Scottie has made his spot on the team, and Summer League is for players that are trying to make the Raptors get an audition and show what they can do. So do not expect Scottie Barnes at Summer League this year unless he feels like he wants to and get the reps in. But I highly doubt that'll happen. But it'll be very fun to see who's on Summer League this summer. Hopefully we have Champagne brother, a new one on there, or somebody else. Very interesting. Some Canadians. That'll be good. Raymond Jacobs saying, I grow a farm, remember? 3 pounds is like enough for a party if Snoop was there. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got to remember Raymond Jacob is in this industry. That's right. I got to remember this. Actually, I need to talk to you, Raymond Jacob. But okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. A pound was always way too big to me. I seen a pound of weed before at a friend's house in high school once. And I was like, this is a lot of weed. And that's the thing. It's just the optics of it. Also, just how they wrote it in the paper. 3 pounds of weed. Everybody's going to think that's a huge amount of weed. But maybe not to a weed farmer like Raymond Jacob. So I appreciate your work, Raymond Jacob. I really do. Click saying, F word, my brother smokes. I used to smoke, my brother smoke. And even with weed being legal, they are all smart about how they use it, etc. Yeah, listen, one of the things we need to watch out if you are an active marijuana user like I am is like maybe having a little bit of respect, like maybe cigarette smokers should. You should go away from buildings. You should maybe go away from young children for sure. And maybe you should like smoke it indiscreetly somewhere away. I wish cigarette smokers would do the same damn thing. Stevie Roots and I in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, way before legalization in Ontario, we were downtown near Zanzibar. Maybe we were at Zanzibar and it was about noon and we went outside for a smoke. And we were smoking weed on Yonge Street right there across from Zanzibar. And a police officer walked up to us. And the police officer said, hey, guys, could you at least go around the corner because there's children out here on the sidewalk? And we did. We went around the corner. He did not get mad at us. We did not get arrested. And this is in like 2001 Toronto. So it's really just kind of having a good judgment to do this in the right place that's appropriate with the people that are around you. And I would say the same damn thing to you cigarette smokers. You get the hell away from people's houses and the buildings where people work. When you see those signs that say 10 yards away, you do it, because some people don't want your smoke in their face right when they walk outside of buildings. In fact, I have more problems with cigarette smokers than marijuana smokers at this point, because marijuana smokers are scared to smoke it in a lot of places out in place. But you cigarette smokers, you're smoking, you put it in everybody's face. You should be going around the corner too, is what I'll be saying also. All right, Click saying the Hornets roster should be blacklisted from Toronto. That's weird. But I won't totally disagree just because I like you, Click, and I'm not totally sure about your reasoning. But this is Weird Wednesday, so we're going to keep going weird here. Like Montrezl Harrell with 3 pounds of weed in his car, weird. Oh, yeah, that's weird. All right, let's see. Lolita's here. I always love to see Lolita's name. Can you tell me if there's any update with Chris Boucher's contract? There is no specific update about his contract right now, Lolita. I wish I could tell you something, but I will tell you this morning, Chris, he put something on his Instagram that looks so badass. We're talking about 3 pounds of weed. Well, this man looked like he had about 300 pounds of weight on that barbell that he was picking up. Like, Chris, oh my gosh, go to his Instagram this morning. Go look what he posted. There's a clip of him picking up this huge barbell with all this weight. It looks like Magnus Ver Magnuson lifting up kind of stuff. And he lifts it and he puts it down and he looks at the camera just like he's like, yeah, try me. You want to see how strong the skinny man is? I will show you how strong I am. So that is what's going on with Chris today. But no, still nothing about the talks. It could be that this is something that we have to wait a little bit. It may have to do with free agency period. It may have to do with stuff like that. It may be too early, that the window isn't open for us to jump on it and retain him. And I really hope we do. I really, really do hope we do. G saying Lakers want Gary again for THT, none, and a pick. They don't have a pick until 2026. Well, let's keep saying what we've said to Lakers Nation. We'll say the same things we've said to all these nations coming and coveting different things on our team. Let them dream. Masai Ujiri said it, let them dream. And, listen, there's something I got to tell y'all. There was the clip, the Instagram that Scottie had with him, OG, and Precious coming out of that restaurant in Miami a couple of nights ago. Well, we talked about it on Twitch last night, and Scottie told me that not only were those guys with him, Gary was there, Dalano was there. He said a bunch of the players were at that restaurant. So they had basically like a Raptors team meeting in Miami a couple nights ago in a restaurant where Scottie Barnes, Precious, OG were caught on film, but Gary was there also. Dalano was there before he came back to Toronto and went to the Blue Jays game. A bunch of the team was there. That's what Scottie said. They were all there, is what he said in his own words. So yeah, let them dream. Who cares? We got team unity. Our guys are getting together in the offseason. They're seeing each other, they're talking to each other and stuff like that. They're in communication with each other. And that's the thing. We have a strong team and stuff like that. So, yeah, whatever these Lakers. I'm going to talk about Jake from State Farm today in a sec. Oh, yeah, Scottie. Scottie last night was hilarious. Oh, my gosh. Skater Dies here. It says our Vermont friend. Does Fred start on any other team in the NBA? I hope you feel better, Lexi. You think I don't feel well? I lost my voice going to a Midnight Oil concert on Monday night. So I haven't got my voice back completely. I feel great. I feel fantastic. I'm having a great week, actually. Grandma turned 100. I saw Midnight Oil. I'm talking to Scottie Barnes on Twitch every other day right now. So things are great. So don't worry about me, Skater Die. It's just a little raspy because I was yelling. I was yelling so much. It's such a good concert. Now, your Fred question, I say this, Fred could start on any team in this league. I'm going to tell you right now, he's the kind of point guard that will be a good leader, and you could send him anywhere. In fact, when he was in his last contract negotiation, it was between us and the Suns. So think about it this way. He was going to go play for the Suns. That's what we learned on the Parlay documentary. And that was when they were deciding between him and Chris Paul, that they were actually going to go with the Fred VanVleet route with the Phoenix Suns, possibly at that point in time. So think about it that way. He is very capable. Could be the starting point guard for the Bulls. He could be the starting point guard for the Knicks. He could be the starting point guard for the Lakers. All these teams would be very happy to have Fred VanVleet on their team as their leader. So yeah, I think he could be a starting point guard on any of the 30 teams in the NBA. That he has that card now, that he has a ring. that he has a proven winning mentality and that he's a real team guy. So I don't see why he wouldn't be able to go and do that anywhere else. So let's see. G saying bird rights. This is how GSW is able to pay all this money to their players. Exactly. G is bringing up the whole part of NBA contracts that allows for teams to expand and keep their nucleus. It's the bird rights. You draft a guy or you keep a guy a certain amount of years, you get the bird rights to them. And that means you can go over the cap and it's paying for those particular players. And he's exactly right. This is part of the key of the secret of success to the Golden State Warriors is that they've really retained and used bird rights very well to keep this nucleus together. When in a lot of cases, people would say, well, you can't have all those guys together for so long. Well, yeah, you can. Bird rights. And that's hopefully what we'll utilize to keep our nucleus together as long as possible. Monique saying on vacation, Lolita, Chris Boucher. Yeah, Chris has been on vacation. They've all been bouncing back and forth between the beach and the gym and different places and stuff like that. Paul B is here. Good to see Paul B, my good friend Paul B. Have we settled on who we want to draft? Not really. I think that it's really kind of like because it's 33, it could be all kinds of different things that happen before that point in the draft. And that it really is a reactionary draft pick. It's like you really got to see who falls. Like Dan Tolzman said a week and a half ago, is we really got to look and see how it all falls down as they get picked. And if there's some gem that we've been watching, we know about, and nobody else is aware of, hopefully it'll fall to us at 33. That's really the best scenario. Is that's the way we really get the good value is when we know something they don't know and that it happens to just line up and we get it and stuff like that. So it'll be very interesting. Click saying Fred is our identity. People who want him gone are idiots. Yeah. There's a lot of things they factor into it. There's a lot of dumb things they factor in. He is a real big part of our identity. He's our captain. He is a part of our culture. He is the dude who's going to keep these young guys a little bit more mature out there and stuff like that. But yeah, once again, Scottie's hilarious, and there's a lot to talk about at Scottie today. I have some really cool news about Scottie Barnes today, so stay tuned till the end of my stream because I'm going to be talking about it near the end. Let's see. Shane Waters is saying, no thank you at G. Mildly compelling, but GTJ hasn't, GTJ has, all right, it jumped ahead. Sorry. Hasn't even unlocked 80% of his potential. Completely agree with this. We got to keep reminding ourselves how young all these guys are. I mean, OG's still super young, and there's so much he can still grow into. Gary, Precious, Scottie, Delano, all these guys are so young. They're so young. And they have so much more that they may grow into soon and very soon. It could be as soon as next season. So let's see. Lolita's saying, hey, thanks to Mo. Click saying, KD smokes too. Difference between him and these other players is that he's quiet about it. He moves in silence. He does it in his house and keeps it in his house. Yeah, I loved hearing that KD interview about his marijuana and stuff like that. And it really is important to show that people like KD or Michael Phelps that are at high levels in their sport and can still do that is like a big argument against like some of the things that people say about marijuana. That if Kevin Durant can be one of the most dominant players in the league and like this, that doesn't totally jive with some of the theories and things people say about marijuana and what it does to you and your body. Michael Phelps, another great example from years ago. Yeah, I agree with this. It is really something you want to keep discreet and personal still. Because, like I said, it's not that it's totally integrated into society as a mainstream thing that has no stigma. There's still major stigma around marijuana in different places, but there's a lot less in places that it used to be also. So it was very interesting. He's smart about it. And yeah, KD being a marijuana advocate, kudos to him. I like the guy in a lot of ways, and that's one of the ways I do. G saying, Shane, I agree. Heck no, Lakers are thirsty for anybody to come and save them. They are singing Bonnie Tyler over there. We need a hero. We're holding out for a hero who's going to come and save this dumpster fire. That's basically what their franchise is right now. So they need to make a big splash because Laker fans are pissed and they don't trust anything about this existing nucleus to do anything. And they're not going to be able to do this. This is the crazy thing is they're stuck. And I fully expect them to be very similar to the way they were last season, no matter what they do. I don't care if they change their coach. I don't care if they change a couple of role players on their team in different places. The Lakers are going to be bad again, unless Russell, Davis, and LeBron get their heads out of their ass and start doing things together and right. Otherwise, they're not going to do nothing. Still, it'll be a carbon copy of last season. Paul B saying Doc was the best in his prime and never got his due. You talking about Doc Rivers or Dr. J? I'm gonna say Dr. J. Hopefully. Uh, Wait, what happened? Rest in peace, Doc. Did Dr. J die, guys? I don't like this. Let me see what's going on here. Dr. J didn't die. Did he? No. Come on, guys. Don't mess with me like this. People were messing with Scotty last night, telling him that Gary did get traded last night. He didn't take the bait though. I don't know what you guys are saying. What you're saying about Doc? Who you're saying? Rest in peace, Shane. You got to elaborate for me. Let's see. Paul B saying glad he got that no hitter in his first. Oh, you guys are talking about Holiday. Sorry, switching gears. Yeah, Roy Holiday. Yes, rest in peace, Doc. Yeah, he was when he was here in Toronto, he never looked right in a Philadelphia Phillies jersey. It was always a little weird to me. I didn't like it. But yeah, man, Roy Holiday, what a great pitcher and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys just I'm behind, I guess is what is there. All right, let's see. Click saying Scotty was catching dubs. Well, let's be fair, Click. When when they play in the rec room on Twitch, when Scotty plays on the rec room on Twitch with Lloyd and Chunky Monkey and John and those guys, they just don't have it. I'm sorry. They have no down low defense. That Lloyd is getting so much grief for not playing a good post game on 2K for Scotty's team when they play Twitch. So it's like they basically got it's like Aaron Baines. They can run right to the basket and just dunk it on Scotty's team. And they can't stop anyone. And in the first games that they were playing in the rec room, they, they would be winning, and then in the like third or fourth quarter, boom, all of a sudden the other team would come back and beat them by the end of the game. It was awful. I hated watching it, and Scotty was just tortured by it. He did not like losing that way, and he had a couple opportunities to hit daggers or like game winners, like at the last second, and he missed them. He had two of them in different games and they both missed. And obviously it's the video game, it has to do with different things and stuff like that. It's not like what he would do in real life, but it was very interesting. And at one point I said to them in the chat, I said, these are the tough lessons that make you want it more. and I think it was Lloyd read it out loud, and him and Scotty started laughing when they read my comment, because they're like, yeah, but it's true, because you see Scotty internalize the losing and how much he hates it, even in the video game. He's playing the video game with, who knows, maybe kids, and they're beating him. And when he loses, you can tell he really gets pissed off, and he's really internalizing, not wanting to feel that, maybe being like, I hate this feeling. I never want to feel this again, kind of feeling, stuff like that. But maybe later he was catching some dubs, but not really. His record on that game is not good, but it's really his teammates dragging him down. I ain't gonna lie. It's his teammates dragging him down. If he had best friends that were better at that game, he'd do better. But he's a loyal dude too. He will only play with his best friends, the ones that he wants to play with, because they are his people, his brothers. And he's not going to bring in sharks or bring in like ringers, like guys that are really good, even though they're dying to get in there. They're in the chat. They're saying, Scotty, put me on this team and let me help you. But he's riding with his dudes. He's ride or dying with his guys. I don't know. They may be friends of his from around the West Palm area. They could be friends that he made at FSU. They could be friends. Who knows who these people are? But yeah, they are. He's not changing his guys out, and he's riding with these guys, even if they're absolutely bringing him down as far as them winning and stuff like that. So in a way, I kind of commend him for his loyalty, even though this team is not good. His 2K team is not good. He needs better talent. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see. Monique saying Raptors today is doing a pre-draft preview in a few days. Yeah, okay. Well, all right. We have think tanks coming up. We'll do a think tank tomorrow on one of the main potential draft targets for the Raptors, Kai Soto. We're going to do a deep dive and talk about Kai Soto tomorrow. He's going to be our main focus on the Thursday think tank tomorrow. And then next Thursday, the day of the draft, we're going to do a draft think tank on the day of the draft. That morning, we'll really talk about it all around, completely about the NBA draft this summer. Next Thursday, the day of the draft. So think tank tomorrow, Kai Soto. Think tank next week, the NBA draft 2022. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Monique says, screw the Lakers. I think we can all get about behind that. Let's say screw the Lakers and F Boston. Yes, we can get behind both of those. Click saying, I must say the Twitch chat has gotten better from the start, but so many people keep asking the same questions and stupid questions. Yeah, Click, you noticed that. Yeah, he got mods. The first time Scottie ever did Twitch, it was a real dumpster fire. There was a lot of people on there saying very inappropriate things, saying very sexual things, and Scottie wasn't having it. This is not something he wants on his Twitch stream. So he got mods, and they're doing a fairly good job for the most part. There's spammers that spam the same thing over and over again. It's really annoying, and there is a problem that people show up to the Twitch late and they ask the same damn question somebody asked 10 minutes earlier that they already got answered. In fact, one of the big questions last night was about Scottie's hat. He was playing wearing his draft day hat, the hat that he was wearing when the Raptors drafted him. He's wearing the hat last night while he's playing. And every single person, new person come in and say, Scottie, is that your draft day hat? Scottie, is that your draft day hat? And at one point he said, yes, this is my draft day hat. And he said it just once. I don't feel like he wants to answer that question over and over again. So maybe I'm being a little bit of an information person for him. So when people come in and ask questions, I will reply to them in the chat for him and say, yes, he already said that is his draft day hat that he is wearing in his Twitch stream last night. That if he's going to, people keep asking that question, I will answer it for him. So yes, Scottie is he is in Florida. He's not in Toronto. I will answer all those damn questions for him just to help the big four with this bullshit. You know, people are just want to know. They're excited. They're excited to see one of their favorite players in the NBA playing video games on Twitch. They want to ask him questions and stuff. Well, some of the questions are tired and been asked over and over again. I'll answer them for Scottie. I'll step up and do it. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, Click, if you notice. Let's see. Skater Dies here. Oh, man, that's what I like to hear. Glad you had a good time. I really like Fred. I just like the league turning into a large two-way guard league. I think that this league is just going to turn into a thing where if you don't play defense, you're done. That this whole era where you could just be a scorer like James Harden is going to be done because you will have no use if you cannot play defense. That everybody's going to have to be a two-way player soon. That may be just a part of the wave of the future also for the NBA. There's going to be so many good players coming out all over the place. But if you don't play defense, what is your worth? So I really like what you're saying, Skater Die, and I think you're right that more and more of this league is going to become even more two-way at all positions, let alone the point guard and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's very exciting, interesting time. So you better not be lazy if you want to play in the NBA. You cannot dog it on the defensive end anymore, players. You got to be able to play both ends of the court. That's just how it is. You won't have value then. Click saying, watching Scottie play made me want to play. I know. I want to play that game too. Part of it for me is I want to get out there and see if I could do better than Lloyd. Like, Lloyd, what the hell are you doing down there? It's like, if you guys don't watch his stream, you got to understand his friend Lloyd plays the big man. He plays the center. He's in the paint. And half the time, the man's standing underneath the basket. You don't want to be in that no man's land. You can't do anything defensively if you're pinned underneath the basket, Lloyd. And I kept telling him that in the chat. I said, well, you can't stand underneath the basket and expect to play good defense. First of all, you got to come out and meet the person like Ken Birch would. If somebody's coming into the post and they want to do something in the low post, Lloyd, you have to bring your character out into them and hold them. You're not getting anybody. They're running around you, dunking on you and all this kind of stuff. And then the other thing is, I asked them at one point, I said, is there a button for jump in this game? I wrote that in. I said, is there a button for jump in this game? And Scottie read it. He didn't read it out loud, and he busted out laughing. I literally made Big Roy, number 4, burst out laughing. He was almost ROFL. He was like, he didn't want to say it out loud because he didn't want to diss Lloyd. But there's a point, if you review that Twitch stream, where I say to him, is there a button for jumping in this game? And he saw it, and he started laughing because that is how bad Lloyd looks out there with him not getting rebounds. The man's supposed to be 7'2" with his character, Lloyd as their center, and he can't get no rebounds. The little guards are rebounding around him. and stuff like that. So he is single-handedly one of the hard things is making it hard for Scottie to win his 2K games. Is that Lloyd has no defense and he can't rebound. And he's their 7'2" center. That's the thing that the center's supposed to do, Lloyd. What are you doing, Lloyd? And he gets all kinds of grief in the chat. People are comparing him to food items. They're comparing him to old washed up NBA players, all kinds of stuff. I told him he need to go watch some Marc Gasol defense from 2019, and then maybe he could figure out how to play defense on 2K. Oh my gosh. And you're right, Click. I want to get this game and start playing it just to be in there also. But it'd be really hard to get in the game with Scottie. Like I said, he's playing with his friends. He has a short list of people that he wants to play with. And that's that screen when he brings it up on the phone. Those are all of his friends that he'll play 2K with. And if we're not on that list, we're not going to get in there probably. He'll bring a rando in just to fill it out if they're right nearby. And otherwise, he's just playing with his friends. So Alistair's saying we have to keep Fred because he could teach Scottie and young players how to shoot. Yeah, just Fred is just a good captain. He's a good general. He has the good perspective from being on the team, the amount of time he has been on it. He's been on the championship team. He's been the guy who was in the G League and had to make the team and fight from claw for everything that he got. He's just a really good leader in all kinds of ways. And people may get mistaken with Fred because he seems like they may think he's arrogant or something like that. But listen, this man has a right to carry a swagger because that he's overcome some big major battles and he's a true bona fide NBA pro. And that if you talk to opposing coaches and opposing teams, they will tell you that they respect Fred VanVleet. I'll tell you that right now. And that we need to really value him. We really, really do, especially this year when things could be a little bit in flux as far as changes on our team with roles and leadership and who's in charge and who's doing what. We may see Scottie take more responsibility this season coming up. And it's not a slight to Fred. We need to have as much riches as we can. So we need Scottie to elevate his game. And if Fred takes a little bit of more of a back seat in different ways, that's going to be fine, as long as it all ends up going towards the W. And these guys are on the same page for that. Trust me. Yeah. So let's see. Click says Scottie gets a bonus because of Rookie of the Year. Man, Click, isn't this so fun to be in there with Scottie? All right, Scottie was talking about, this is one of the things he was talking about last night, is about hot dogs and bologna. He's not a fan of hot dogs. He don't want to eat no hot dogs. Hot dogs are gross. Hot dogs are like the discarded parts of animals. I don't even want to talk about what parts of the animals they are. That hot dogs are gross. And Scottie stays away from them. He said, if I want something like that, I'll go get bologna. So if we're asking Scottie, hot dogs or bologna, he's bologna. Just so y'all know, there's a little interesting fun fact about Scottie Barnes. He would prefer some bologna over some hot dogs. So if you ever get in that situation with him, give him what he wants. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Monique's saying, I saw 3 years extension for Fred. I think I say, listen, they're going to know. Bobby and Masai know the long-term financial plans of the Toronto Raptors. They're going to know where the slots are, how much money is where, what, how many years. Trust in them. I don't like getting bogged down in looking at all of it. I don't like looking at all of it and analyzing whether it was a good deal or not. I just trust them. That man deserves that money. That's what they feel like he deserves it. Give it to him. And he's on our team. That is all business side. I don't like business side. I like winning side. I like basketball side. I like the players side. And that stuff I don't like getting mired in. But once again, I trust that Masai and Bobby will give him a fair deal to Fred and a fair deal to the team. And everything's going to just keep going copacetic and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. Evelyn is here. Good to see you, Evelyn. I saw you yesterday. I'm sorry I didn't shout out to you yesterday. I love you, Granny Evelyn. All right, watching and having breakfast with baby Candace. We love you guys. We love you, baby Candace. And I hope you're having the most nutritious, loving breakfast with your grandmother, Evelyn. Oh, we love you so much. You are the best Raptor freaks in some ways. I love Granny Raptor Freak Evelyn and baby Raptor Freak Candace. Yes, part of the Raptor Freak Nation. You're the best. Click saying the stigmas around weed are stupid. It's good to see that among the younger generations, it has changed a lot. I know so many people that do it and there's no judgment as long as there's no peer pressure. Yeah, this is something like, look, this isn't for children. This isn't, honestly, you should be of a certain age before you start smoking because there are a lot of things that you can hurt with your development of your brain and stuff like that. But this is something that is very similar to alcohol in some ways also. that it is not like heroin, it's not like cocaine, it's not like those other things. It's way much more like alcohol and cigarettes. And that if those can be legalized at that level, that this is perfectly fine with this and stuff like that. We need to continue to push the stigma away. And one of the big areas about marijuana becoming legal that we need to rectify is how many people are still sitting in jail because of marijuana charges. That if marijuana becomes legal, all these people need to be freed, and that they need to be let out of jail. The people that may be in like for like decades sentences for small marijuana possession charges, this is fucked up, and that this should not be happening. So that is one of the things I want to see happen also with things about weed and stuff like that. Click send. I did it, but I had too many bad experiences. It ain't for me. Okay, so Click's probably one of these people that gets in a paranoid mindset when they smoke. Some people just get a little too weirded out on a weird Wednesday when they smoke the weed. They're like, "Ooh, it's a little too weird. It's Blue Jays freak today. I don't know. Am I like smoking on high or something? It's Blue Jays freak. It's not a Raptor freak today. That's a little weird. It's a little weird." Let's see. Click saying Lakers would suck Masai off for. Whoa, Click. That's dirty. For Gary Trent. Oh my gosh. I don't know who would it be from there. I don't even want to think about this. That's kind of gross. Click saying Lloyd is below average. Laughing my ass off. I feel bad for Lloyd. He's trying. And this is the thing. What happens when Scotty's playing Twitch with his friends, sometimes they're really bad. He said, "Yo, we need to boost you." And it's basically like they go and pay some money and they put some points, some character points, building up the characters so that they play better, have more skills. It doesn't help. These guys, they get a little bit better. Like one guy the other day, I think it was John. He got Nick. It was Nick. It was Nick. The guy playing with him was Nick. He paid for a boost, and his player came back like 4 inches taller on the court. I was like, whoa, that's what it is when you pay for a boost. Your player comes back and they're taller. It looked like that Nick got taller and Lloyd got shorter when that happened or something like that. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, Lloyd, I feel bad for him. He's getting so much grief. I mean, the chat is bullying him to a degree. And at some point, Scotty does kind of tell the chat to chill out. Like, come on, don't come at one of my best friends like this too hard. We have to remember these are his friends. We shouldn't be really dogpiling on them. If you're in the Twitch stream with Scotty and Lloyd and them, don't come down on Lloyd so hard because this is Scotty's friend. And we want to show love for all the people in his life, even if they're dog shit on the basketball court in 2K. So Paul B, Peds Are Burning is my favorite chorus of all time. How was the show? Paul, it was absolutely amazing. It was the right mix of their new stuff and their absolutely old stuff. They played a majority of Diesel and Dust, which was absolutely fantastic. Of course, they're getting older, so they do a couple things a little bit differently than they used to, but it was amazing. And honestly, I have wanted to see them since the 1980s in concert, and it took until this last 2 nights ago for me to finally see them. It was truly a dream concert for me, and it was one of those ones I want to check off my list. I want to see the Beastie Boys, but I never did get to see them before MCA died, which sucks because they were on my list too to check off, and I won't get to see them. It's too bad. So you go see those concerts while you can. When you can see artists, they come through your town. Don't say you'll get them on the next tour because you don't know if there'll be a next tour. So go see those shows that you want to see when you do. Click saying he's going to play with Adin Ross soon. Yeah, these guys keep talking about this on the chat. Is this some Twitch guy who's famous and he plays on his own? I don't know. Scotty's more likely. He doesn't sound like he cares about playing with anybody big famous. He doesn't really seem like he even cares about playing with Delano or Chris or Gary Trent. They kept saying, like, go find Carey on COD because he switched from the basketball to Call of Duty at a certain point last night because the basketball just wasn't going good overall. There was too much losing, and he's not all about that. So he got on Call of Duty, and they went around, they were shooting and stuff, and that was fun for a little bit. It's an interesting game. It's a lot. I'm a SOCOM guy. I used to play SOCOM on PlayStation 2, so that's my realm of experience with first-person shooter games. And wow, this generation of shooter games and the way they are, it's all way faster and crazier and complicated. SOCOM had a whole kind of thing to it. Anybody here play SOCOM back in the day on PlayStation 2 in the early 2000s? That was my jam back then. Oh, yeah, it was. Tom is redacted. Click saying Aiden plays 2K and does one-on-one wagers for real money. Yeah, Scotty doesn't need to get involved in that. We don't need him getting into Michael Jordan world where people gamble on every little thing. Whether it's like they want to make that waste paper basket. You're going to hit that shot on the waste paper basket right there, $1,000. Or wait, 10,000. No, $10,000. You can't make that shot on waste paper basket. We do not want Scottie going the Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley way of life, which is gambling on everything, everything. They find a way to gamble on somebody clapping their hands, stuff like that. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily like this. I'd rather Scotty just keep to what he does, man. He really is a dude that does what he wants. And, like, he's not out there in the nightlife every night. He doesn't mind staying home and hanging out with his homies, playing basketball on the 2K instead of being out in the nightlife and stuff like that. I like that better. And I don't know. I don't know enough about Aiden. I just don't want to see him get in there in a one-on-one with the guy and lose to him and lose money and that kind of stuff. Don't do that situation, Scotty. I know you could probably beat him, but it's just like it won't be a good look if you don't, especially because it's one-on-one. We can always blame Lloyd when it's five of y'all. Monique saying, "Did you see Nick Nurse interview on Udoka on ESPN YouTube?" I didn't see what he said about Udoka. I've seen some Nick Nurse stuff recently. Actually, guys, Nick Nurse has a new app out, guys. It's really interesting. He has a shooting app for basketball players. You can download the app onto your phone or something like that, and it will help analyze your shot and improve your shot in basketball. So if you are somebody who is playing basketball right now and you do want to get better, there's a new app out there that Nick Nurse has endorsed that is a shot app. And maybe you might want to download it, check it out, and see if it can help your mechanics with your shot, stuff like that. So that's my Nick Nurse news for today. Evelyn's asked me, "Hey, are you in your living room?" No, Evelyn, I'm not actually at my house right now. I'm over at my girlfriend's house. That's why it's weird. It's a weird Wednesday. I'm Blue Jays freak. I'm Blue Jays freak today, and I'm at my girlfriend's house. And this is her living room, stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I am. Let's see, Raymond Jacob, what are you saying? Hey, Scotty needs to knight Lex with a wrench. If I got a wrench in his stream, that'd be awesome. But I'm going to tell y'all something really cool right now. First of all, they're personally inviting me to come to there. Like, they send me the invite, and I go in there, and it's the same guys. Like, a lot of us that are in there are the same dudes, and we're starting to get to know each other. Like Guerrilla Marketing and other people that are in there, they're regulars. They're always in the Scottie Barnes Twitch, and I'm one of those regulars now. And Scotty really does pay attention to what I write. Like, at one point last night, I told him I was raised in Tallahassee. And he said, "Oh, you're raised in Tallahassee? That's tough," is basically what he said. Like, he was showing me respect for having grown up in the hard streets of Tallahassee, Florida, and stuff like that. But yeah, he pays attention to a lot of things that I write. Like I said, he laughed at that one thing I wrote about Lloyd and stuff like that. And I'm still trying to work out how I can get across nicknames to him. He really does like the big four. He had a weird name on his character, Scottie Barney, last night, and some people were trying to say that's his real full name, Scottie Barney. I think that's what it was. I don't know. I don't know if his real last name is Barney, but I don't know. They were trying to say that maybe it was jokes. His last name's probably Barnes. But yeah, that'd be fun to have a wrench, Raymond. Seriously, you got a wrench here. I'd love to have a wrench on his thing, but I think the mods that he has are really like people that are near him and close to him, and maybe some people that are in his publicity group or something like that. Who knows? All right, let's see. How many of you are keeping up with Jeremy Lin? This is what Monique is asking. Oh yeah, I'm seeing what Jeremy's doing. He's going to do the celebrity game on July the 7th with Simu Liu. And who knows? I'd like to see a list of the people who are appearing at this game. If there's going to be other former NBA players or current NBA players, which celebrities might be there, stuff like that. And I hope that they do a really good job, have a good turnout, and raise a bunch of money for the cause that there's things. Listen, there's a lot of anti-Asian hate in this world, partly because of the pandemic and dumb stuff out there. And that, these guys are fighting against it and bringing more awareness to it. And I will be there with them, shining a light on this, because hate is wrong on all groups, any group. And this group in particular is getting a unfair amount of a lot of bad things right now because of stupid things in society and people believing that it's like Chinese people fault for COVID and stuff like that. It's really bad. And what Jeremy Lin is doing is really good. And that we need to have more awareness and stop Asian hate. It is really, really bad. And that's a big part of what this charity event is going to be all about, is putting awareness on Asian hate out in society, and it's wrong, and we won't stand for it. That we will not stand for this kind of stuff. Pushing old ladies around in markets and stuff like that is not cool. All right, let's see. Tom Duke saying, when is Scotty going to come crash a Raptor Freak morning show? Listen, Tom, listen, this could happen. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start putting me on, more on blast in different places. I started posting my links to my channel on Twitter with some major Raptors Twitter posters, people that are getting a lot of follows that talk Raptors all the time. I'm going to start putting my stuff up there. And if you guys want to put me in places where you see a lot of Raptors fan traffic, do it also, because the more and more traffic I get here, who knows? That Scotty may be interested in doing some or just something, like maybe he'll do a shout out to me or something. I have no idea, Tom. But if anything can develop in this kind of way, I'm all for it. Listen, if he can come here and see my show and see how positive I am about the Raptors and doing a lot of things he's doing inside on the team, as far as keeping team unity, being a public relations offensive front against Jake. Okay, let's talk about this right now. All right. In the middle of the stream last night, Scotty pulled his phone out and he said, guys, look who just followed me. And he held the phone up to the camera and he said, look who just followed me, y'all, Jake Fisher. That's right. Jake Fisher started following Scotty on Instagram last night. And this whole spawn, you may have seen the clips already because they're viral right now. Scotty talking about Jake Fisher. Boy, he is just like me. What he said is basically what I've been saying too. He's a fraud. Nobody listened to him. He's like, what should I do about this? Now, some people are saying you should block him. But I'm like, no, don't do that. That's what a lot of people do just to cut people out, stuff like that. You know what? Maybe he needs to follow you so that he can get the actual truth and get some reality and look at that. Because the man's pushing lies all over the place. And Scotty called him out as basically like an enemy last night. And it was hilarious to see him so much on page with Raptor Fan Nation. That Jake Fisher, you are hack jabroni writer. That you do not write factual stuff, that you are not a journalist, bro. You are a fan who writes about what you want to happen or see. And you try to make it happen by putting it out there in the ether and stirring things up. Well, Scotty's on to you. And he's like, listen, he said, you're an idiot. And like, man, you go watch the clip. It's going to be on Twitter and different places. Just you'll find it. If you put Scottie Barnes in as a keyword, you will find Scotty's exact words about Jake Fisher when he was added on his Instagram. Is very fascinating stuff. And once again, this whole like interaction on Twitch, real time and like live and like directly where you can talk to him through the chat and then boom, he's showing us. He's like, look, guys, Jake Fisher on my phone, on my Instagram. It's so enlightening and so out in the open. This is like a whole other level of open gym that you can like, this is not even open gym. This is crazy. This is real time. And this is like real life. And it's amazing. I love this. It's so crazy. Every time Scotty gets on that Twitch, it's like the bat signal to me. I'm like, oh, Scotty's on Twitch. And I drop everything and I just go and research and see what's going on with him and try and talk to him. Because I like having those opportunities. And they're coming more often right now. So if you really want to see this, go find him on Twitch and follow him and get the notification bell turned on. So you can come and join Click and I, because Click was there with me too last night. And it was fantastic to see another person from this channel that interacts with me regularly in there with me and talking to everybody. But I'm starting to get to know that group in there also. So it's really cool. Let's see. Tom Duke's gonna say I'm gonna let him know I'm the Raptor Freak super fan. Tom, just, if you want to plug Raptor Freak in different places, stuff like that, that's great. And seriously, come in there and just talk to him like we do. I know you're West Coast time, so it's a little off in different ways, but he was on early last night, like 6:30, and that's different. He usually goes on around 11:30, stuff like that. Yeah, and Click saying, yes, man, last night was a very fun stream. It's just it's such a weird way to connect. And like, honestly, to have that kind of direct communication with the big Roy, number 4, Scottie Barnes, like our golden boy, our guy who's coming up and is going to be our franchise player. And this so young. And like, I really hope that he doesn't grow up too fast, because this is the thing. He's going to mature in different ways as a pro and as a person in the next few years. And I just hope that he keeps some of this stuff that he's like, being young and this youthful enthusiasm, stuff like, we don't want him to get jaded. We don't want him to grow up and become a bitter person. We want him to keep his youthful exuberance and stuff like that and keep it in a bottle and keep it forever. Monique saying, Notes and notes. Jordan Lloyd getting married this year, and he's overseas and 3 championships. Wow. Jordan Lloyd, I didn't know he's winning that much. I thought he was just random guy in a suit. Okay, good job, Jordan Lloyd, getting married and winning championships somewhere else. You know who just won something too? Bruno Caboclo. Yes, Bruno Caboclo finally arrived. We said he was 2 years away from being 2 years away. Well, he's finally arrived, y'all. He is the MVP of the Brazilian League, and I think he won the championship. Kudos to former Raptor Bruno Caboclo for dominating in Brazil, that you are finally here, that Fran Fraschilla can finally say Bruno Caboclo is finally here. He's not away. He's not gone. It's not going to take a couple more years or nothing. Bruno has finally arrived. And I don't know how long it took. It took a decade, but you did it, Bruno. You finally did it. You have arrived. Yes, sir. I love it. G saying, did you know Masai interviewed Nurse, Buds, and the Boston coach for the coaching job? All three either won a chip or are in the finals. Masai's a genius. That's a great factoid, G. I did not realize that Masai did do this. And that is amazing list of 3 coaches right there. You're exactly right. That is fantastic. And that is a testament to the man's astute way of analyzing talent and understanding what somebody can bring and the potential that they may have. Because none of these guys were names in the NBA until they got to their current positions and what they're doing. And I'm glad we got Nick. Out of all of them, if it's going to be which one, it's Nick Nurse. I'm glad out of those 3, it's Nick Nurse. Seriously. Coach Bud's weird. And I like Udoka, but he's on the Celtics now and stuff like that. And he would have been great on the Raptors before he's been tainted with the green. But, it is what it is. Click is laughing his ass off. Patrick Mutombo to the Suns, by the way. Yeah, we're talking about this at the beginning. That franchise needs a no nonsense tough guy like Patrick Mutombo. He's going to come in there and tell people that you're messed up, and maybe he'll even bring in some of that social justice warrior kind of mentality from the Raptors and clean up that toxic dump that is the Phoenix Suns franchise right now. It's weird. They were a toxic dump in the 70s, but that was because of cocaine, and now they're a toxic dump because of misogyny and sexism and sexual harassment. That's the problem with the Phoenix Suns franchise, is that they have an owner that is gross, and they have other people that are in high level positions in that franchise that are gross, and they are toxic, and they talk to people in very demeaning, gross ways, specifically women. And that is the problem in Phoenix. So maybe Patrick Mutombo could roll up with a Toronto social justice warrior mentality and set everybody straight. No, you will not do this around me, and none of this. He's outspoken. He's a tough dude. I wouldn't put him past him. So he's a good dude, and I wish him well. It's too bad he's not going to be with us next year, but it is what it is. Lolita's saying, watching an NBA show yesterday, and the show host gave flowers to the Raptors' development of players, finally recognition of the team's hard work. I think that was actually Dick Jefferson, from what I'm hearing, is that Dick Jefferson finally said something about how some teams in the NBA are really bad at developing and just being run as an organization. This is something I've been saying all year, is that all these other organizations have problems with their teams. They have cracks in the foundation. They've taken on water into the ship because of different dysfunction, whether it's what I just talked about with the Phoenix Suns toxic culture in their front office, or the things with LeBron and the Lakers, or things that happened with Kyrie this season and the Nets, or Ben Simmons. There's all kinds of different tales of bad things around franchises. And that, Richard Jefferson was finally recognizing, the Raptors have a really good, solid franchise, a good culture, and they have really good development system. So thank you, Dick Jefferson, for finally giving us a bit of flowers for once, even though you have slighted us in so many ways, and you are a Raptor hater deep down inside. He may have said something nice yesterday, but that may be one of the first times I've ever heard something nice said about the Raptors out of Dick Jefferson's mouth. So yeah, you caught that, Lolita. I heard about it myself too. I didn't actually see the clip, but I heard the gist of it, that he is lauding us for our development in our franchise culture. Alster saying Kenneth Lofton Jr. is someone to consider picking. Kenny Lofton's son, the Kenny Lofton that played center field for the Atlanta Braves. That is very interesting. This man's probably going to be able to be very fast up and down the court. There's a couple of juniors that are around this draft that aren't really draft prospects, but are intriguing. Like, isn't Shaq's son somewhere out there right now? We got Bronny. There's Scottie Pippen Jr. There's a lot of different juniors that are around this draft, but I don't think they're actually in the draft class or on mock drafts in a lot of ways because they're not good enough. A lot of them are just getting by on the names, but I'll have to see what Kenny Lofton Jr. looks like. It's like Scottie Pippen Jr. You would think he'd be somewhere. Or Sharif O'Neal. What is going on with him? What is going on with him? You don't see him on draft boards or something like that, but he's eligible. He could be drafted. So it's interesting. The youth, the youngsters coming from the former players, like AJ Griffin may be the biggest name as a player who had a dad who was a pro out of all those names on the list. You know what I'm saying? So Monique's saying Simu is putting on a charity game with Jeremy Lin. Yes, it's going to be very interesting. They have the star power that Vince Carter Classic used to have in the early 2000s. It'll be a really fun game. He used to get like Alonzo and Kevin. He used to get really big NBA players that were big time at his charity game, Vince Carter. So it'll be interesting to see who is at that game for Jeremy Lin. Paul B saying bucket list concerts for him. All right, I want to see this list. Blur, Weird Al. That's a great one. You know what? I'm gonna put Weird Al on my list now. Sinead O'Connor. Wow, that's gonna be a real rare one to get. Garbage and Fugazi. Yeah, okay, that's good. I've collected most of the ones that were on my list over the years. I had Nine Inch Nails on my list. I had Soundgarden, and I did see them before Chris Cornell died. Simple Minds was on my list. Depeche Mode was on my list, and I've gotten all those checked. And now Midnight Oil this week. But that's a great list, Paul. I think realistically, Sinead will never happen. That may be the one that never happens. Now, Garbage is still putting out music, and they still tour, and I'm sure Fugazi's still out there. Weird Al, he's probably going to be out there again because they're making that movie of him with Harry Potter playing him. Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al in a Weird Al biopic movie that's in development they're making right now. So we'll have to see that. Click saying a shooting app. Bro, I downloaded that. I'd be playing ball here and there for fun, but my friends are much better than me. I'm like a 3-and-D player, but I would definitely like to improve my shot. Yeah, check it out. Nick Nurse, go to his Instagram and you'll see the ad for it on Nick Nurse's Instagram. It's somebody developed it, but Nick Nurse is pushing it. It's an app. I think it's kind of like a Fitbit or like a step counter or something, but it reads how you shoot and it'll tell you how to shoot better, apparently. G saying, is your name Raptor Freak on Twitch? Yes. Gee, I am the Raptors Freak on Scotty's Twitch. That is the same man. I'm the one. If you see Raptor Freak anywhere in most places, it's me. I had that email in 1995. My email was raptorfreak@aol.com. This is not a nickname that is new for this channel. I've used the nickname Raptor Freak for 25 years, since the very beginning of the Raptors. So, yeah, if you see that name on the Twitch stream, that is me talking to them. So when you rewatch it, that be informed of that. And Click is Click 2 a.m. So if you see Click 2 a.m. on that chat too, that is our friend Click there too. So Paul B saying bucket list Raptors, KD. Ooh, I like this kind of thinking. That would be a fun game to play. Like, who would we like to see on the Raptors someday? I think KD might have the Raptors on his list for a bucket list. And if Kyrie leaves, if they don't get Kyrie to come back next season because they don't want to extend him, invest in him long term because he's a knucklehead, Kevin has been on the record to say that with no Kyrie in Brooklyn, no Kevin in Brooklyn, and that's what this is. The dominoes about to fall in the Nets because the ownership and the management of the Nets do not want to invest in Kyrie. They're sick of him. They're sick of what happened this season with him. They saw how halftime really hurt them, and they don't want to give him an obscene amount of money with all of his knuckleheadedness. But Kevin is saying, I don't have Kyrie here, I won't be here either. And that may mean that he may look at other places and we may be on that list. Monique's saying, so guys, I'm planning on getting to the all women's league in the future. Oh, cool. Monique, you're going to go down there and check out one of the games. Yeah, go down there and see firsthand and give us a report. Come back and tell us about it on the stream, what you see down there and how you feel about the league and the feel and stuff like that. That's awesome. I always encourage everybody to go to games, whether it's going to Jeremy Lin's charity game, whether it's going to the All Women's League here in Toronto now, whether it's going to Team Canada game on July the 1st, Team Canada against Dominican Republic in Hamilton. So go and just see basketball. It doesn't matter. It's the off season. Go watch basketball in the summer, CBL, all the good stuff that's out there right now. G saying good stuff, Mo. Yeah, go Mo, go. I love the love for Mo because Mo is one of my favorites, honestly, in Raptor Nation. I'm not gonna lie. And Mo and I have had a relationship for quite a few years now. Her and I have been interacting on Facebook and talking about the Raptors for almost 7 years at this point, bro. I'm pretty sure. I know you've been doing this for a very long time, but that's around when we started. Like, I would comment on your posts, and we would just go talk about what we think about what's going on with the team and stuff. So we've been doing this for a while, Monique and I. Yeah. Let's see. Monique saying years of Linsanity, just wild. 10 years. 10 years since Linsanity. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. David S. is saying, laugh out loud, Jake from State Farm. Yeah, that's what I call him. Jake from State Farm, because he's fake. Just like that fake Chris Paul they have in those State Farm commercials. That's Alfonso Ribeira from Fresh Prince, dressed up in a fake Houston Houston jersey. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Jake from State Farm, you're on notice from Scottie Barnes. Yeah, sure, you're following Scottie Barnes' Instagram, but he knows who you are. He's calling you out, and he's going to put every single one of your dumbass trade rumors or disgruntled rumors to rest, because it's bad news, baby. It's bad news. Sources say it's bad news, Jake from State Farm. So don't even bring that shit in here. Click saying it's transparent. That's why I love it. Yeah, it's so transparent. It's direct. There's no PR guy in between. There's no Raptors representative kind of advising him. Don't say that. In fact, he has said stuff he probably shouldn't, because he does comment on NBA players, current NBA players. He does comment on situations in the league. He was talking about that Miles Bridges thing last week when he went crazy and got on TikTok with the juice and the joint. And, talking about that, he will give us opinions about current NBA stuff. And there is all kinds of interesting things we've learned. Like, he is a LeBron fan, and he thinks LeBron is the greatest player of all time. He thinks he's better than Jordan. He listed it that way. That's Scottie. His top two are LeBron and then Michael. So that's very interesting to me. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, so cool, and love how vibrant Scottie is, sharing his energy and good vibes to the world. He's different. He really enjoys doing the streaming. Once again, at the end of the stream, he's like, I love all y'all. I really enjoy doing this. You guys are my people. And this is what I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm going to drop huge news on y'all. Last night, Scottie asked us directly, would we be interested in a Scottie Barnes meet and greet in Toronto? And boy, everybody was saying, yes, fire, please. And so he saw that. He said, oh, you guys would like a meet and greet with me in Toronto? So I'm going to tell y'all right now, he's going to plan a meet and greet sometime this summer before the next season, where he's going to be some location. It could be a bookstore. It could be a shoe store. It could be any, I don't know. I've been to a meet and greet at a Bell store before. I've been at a meet and greet at Indigo Books. I've been in a meet and greet at the Air Canada Center. Who knows where they're going to host it? But Scottie, you should be looking out for a Scottie Barnes meet and greet where we'll be able to actually go down and meet him and maybe get a picture taken with him. And he's all about it, because he wants to make these connections with the fans, that it's his idea, and he wanted to know if we were interested in that. So keep your eyes and ears open for the coming weeks for whether where it's going to be and what time, and maybe you can go meet Scottie Barnes and stuff like that. It's going to be so cool when he does that. And I probably will go down there and just come down there and say, hey, I'm the Raptors freak. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I seen you in the chat. And like, then maybe we're already buddies. It'd be really awesome. It'd be really cool if that's the case. Let's see. Monique saying, if Jama wasn't with the Warriors, I would definitely have him keep for the 905, but happy for Jama. Yeah. Monique, who do you think will be coaching 905 next season? I think it will be somebody who's currently on the coaching staff from last season. Is better for continuity. And that's why I think it might be somebody like Nathaniel Mitchell. It could be, I don't think it'll be Eric Curry. It could be Bjorngren too. That's the other one. I don't know if Bjorngren would do it because he's already gone all the way up to head coach, and that may be not really what they want to do with him. It could be that they let Earl Watson run that team this year. Like, that may be a good option. Let Earl Watson, although Earl's been a head coach also before. It's really, you want G League coach to be somebody who hasn't gotten any head coaching experience at all on the NBA level. So Adrian Griffin's out for that. Earl Watson's out for that. Bjorngren's out for that. But it's got to be one of these assistants that's already on the team. I that's how I really believe. Now, if they bring Jerry Stackhouse back, like you said before, that'd be very interesting. And he did very well. He won a championship on 905. So interesting. Monique saying Jeremy Lin basketball program is now official in Toronto. I just love how many of these players are doing basketball camps in Canada, all across Canada. Precious in Winnipeg, Chris Boucher in Montreal. These guys are setting up things and going on. Fred has a basketball camp going on this week in Rockford. It's really good and awesome to give back and get more interest in the sport at the younger people and stuff like that. These kids will always remember going to Precious Achua basketball camp in Winnipeg. People that would never get that chance, and go see them, and he's there, and they're learning this stuff. They'll always remember that. And it's the kind of thing you see. Like, look at Pascal, or somebody like that. Pascal did a basketball camp when he was young, and Serge was there. And Serge was already an NBA player, and it established like some goals, and it imprinted on him in some different good ways. And Pascal ended up playing with him and getting a championship with him with the Raptors. And this was somebody who was at a camp teaching him basketball in Africa years before that. Stuff like that. So you never can understand fully the impacts these kind of camps can have on youth and where they go in their lives. They could end up being the next Pascal Siakam. So I love that the Raptors are doing this, and they're all over the country. There may be one out in Vancouver by somebody. I don't know. It may be somebody else, some other team or something like that. But Paul B said, I had Sinead O'Connor tickets before the pandemic, but it got canceled and then rescheduled and canceled again. Pretty bummed. Been lucky to see most of my bucket list too. Yeah, she's so elusive. And she was really out of the public eye for so long that she's just more recently more comfortable with being out there and singing again. And yeah, there's maybe a very small window to catch her in particular. And it's too bad the pandemic's affected that. Click saying, I want Shy or Jamal. You talking about on the Raptors? Like if they're going to play on Team Canada this summer, and Coach Nurse is going to be around them, maybe they'll like see Coach Nurse's vibe and be like, this coach is very fun to play for, and I really trust in him that he really knows what he's doing, and we're going to win, stuff like that. It could really help us recruit Canadian players to the Raptors because we've got our coach coaching Team Canada right now and getting a familiarity with the top Canadian players in the NBA. That can't hurt in any kind of way. I'm going to tell you that right now for the future. Paul B saying, great choices, Click. Don't hate, but I love Paul George too. That defense and shot making. He always impressed me on the Pacers. Love rooting for PG versus LeBron when they faced off. I'm not a big fan of Paul George. I am going to hate a little bit. And I know why Paul B is talking about Paul George right now. It's because of his wife. His wife loves Paul George so much that this is part of this like happy wife, happy life is what's going on here with Paul B. Is a little bit of this affinity for Paul George. Listen, I don't think he's dependable. I think that he's a good player sometimes, but sometimes he's just not there. And that's really shown with the Clippers the last couple of years with the whole Kawhi Paul George experiment, stuff like that. So I know why you're putting Paul George's name out there, Paul B. You told me your wife really likes Paul George, and you want your wife to be happy. Monique saying, Alex Wan is now taking over the Raptors show. Will Lou on vacation. So happy for Alex. Not a fan of Will. I didn't know that about you, Monique. I like both of them. Will needed a vacation. Alex Wong is more savvy on air. He wasn't really a personality that wanted to be on air. He was a producer. That was what he was supposed to be. He was Will Lou's producer. But, he's been more on the show now. And maybe he's more comfortable doing it. And now he's turned into an on-air kind of personality also. Kudos to Alex Wong. Honestly, these guys in their travels and their trajectory of going from, guys that just rode about the Raptors because they loved it and didn't get paid nothing to where they are now. Such a great story. I love these guys so much. I can't hate Will Lou. I'm sorry. But I understand why you prefer Alex Wong. I like him too a lot also. So very interesting. Click saying something about Trevor Gleason. I'm not sure what you were saying about Trevor Gleason. Maybe you can fill me in. Oh, you mean maybe he'll coach the 905? Trevor Gleason coaching 905? I don't think so. This man's won championships as a head coach in Australia. It's really got to be one of the younger coaches that needs experience just being in charge. And that's why I think Mitchell might be the number one candidate, Nathaniel Mitchell. Let's see. Monique saying, I went to a meet and greet with JV years ago, but they never work out for me. Oh, well, they should be giving you, getting you up there, as you need to get up there and have your time with it. The waiting in line stuff can be really annoying and stuff like that. But you should be getting a chance to get up into a VIP line, as far as I'm concerned, stuff like that, and just get a chance to come and see them, and then not have to wait around with everybody else. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, the meet and greets can be crazy. They can be really hectic. Sometimes they're only like known about within hours of them, because the generation of crowds that it generates and stuff like that. Sometimes they give a short-term notice on purpose. But yeah, the Scottie Barnes meet and greet is going to be very interesting. It's going to happen this summer, trust me, because he wants to do it. He said he wanted to Twitch this summer, and he's doing it now. So he says he wants to do a meet and greet. He's going to do it. So watch out for it. Let's see. Let's see. Paul B saying the wife is an AD lady, can't win. Okay. That's right. She's a Laker Davis fan. That's right. But I thought she liked Paul George also. It's like an LA thing, right? Because she's from Los Angeles, right? Monique saying, I want it to be Nate Mitchell for the 905. Yeah, it's one that makes sense. He's a young guy. It would benefit him probably the most. It'd be interesting to see how he could handle that team. It really is kind of meeting the like who needs the experience to bolster their coaching resume, and who is ready for it. Also, is Nate Mitchell ready for it? I want to see that. Paul B saying Alex Wong is great. Yeah. And she's all about Kobe. All right, that's cool. All right, let me just go over the rest of my list and make sure I didn't miss anything I wanted to talk about today. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about that. LeBron was with the Stanley Cup in the last day or so, and he's touching it like crazy. He's like touching it all over. And this has been a subject recently because of Charles Barkley not wanting to touch the Stanley Cup. And there is a lot of superstition about touching championship trophies when you're not a champion. And I'm kind of with Charles in some ways. Like Stevie Roots is this way too. It was like the Stanley Cup has a lot of like mystique to it, and a lot of rules for NHL players. Like if you have not won the Stanley Cup in the NHL, you are not supposed to touch it. And that's part of it right there. Well, LeBron was like, woo, he was like just really, he was like he was feeling it up and really like groping it, stuff like that. But that's a little bit in the news right now that LeBron was like practically making out with the Stanley Cup trophy in the last 24 hours. Let me just see if I forgot anything about the Scottie Barnes Twitch. Once again, if you guys aren't following Scottie Barnes on Twitch yet, you should, because it's really fantastic. You can even go back and rewatch them, even though they're not live. It's just fun to see. You basically feel like you're hanging out with the Rookie of the Year, and just really getting him unfiltered, like Click said. It's like there's nothing in between him and us, and you can talk to him directly. Like I said, I cracked him up. I was talking to him different ways. We found out last night the man likes Reese's Shakes. Then somebody came into the room while he's playing last night in the middle of his video games, and he said, "What do you want? I'm going, somewhere." And he's like, "Oh, you know what I want?" And he's like, "Reese's Shake." And he's like, "Yeah, you know what I want." So we all know now Scotty likes Reese's Shakes. So just so you know, there's a little information. Everybody, this is the Raptor Freak channel. We freak out about the Raptors. We want to know everything. Well, there's a little detail. If he wants a shake, it's a Reese's Shake. Just so y'all know. And then let's see. We talked about bologna and hot dogs. He prefers bologna over hot dogs. Yeah, and I found it really interesting. Like the Jake stuff was really, really interesting. That was probably the highlight of the stream last night. Him getting a follow from Jake and stuff like that. And once again, it's just a fun atmosphere in the Twitch. If you can catch it, catch it. Let's see. Paul B saying, I hope Scotty likes back-to-back champwiches. I know he does. Like seriously, this man's all about winning. And this is the thing he kept saying last night. This is a big one, guys. And you remember, you guys that are my regulars, you remember I said this in the middle of the season. I said that when Scotty's done being a rookie, when he's done being a rookie last year, he's gonna be going straight to vet level. Remember when I said that? He's a special kind of guy that has no youth period in his career where he's not a vet. He's going to go rookie straight to veteran. And he said that last night. He said, I'm a 2-year vet, y'all. He was saying that, and I was echoing it back to him. He's like, he started yelling, I'm a 2-year veteran, y'all. He's like, I'm no rookie, because they started calling him rookie. He's like, no, y'all, you can't call me a rookie anymore. My rookie season's over. I'm now a 2-year vet, is what he was saying to all of us. And he was saying exactly how I described it during the season. It's like, this man is so astute, and such a good basketball acumen, so ahead of his age as far as his smarts on the court and doing the right things, that this man is skipping from being a rookie right into being a veteran, and that he needs to be declared a 2-year veteran of the NBA next season, that he is a 2-year vet. And you don't necessarily get veteran status in your second, third, or fourth year in the NBA or fifth year. That sometimes you don't get vet until you're like 6 or 7 years in. And that he was saying that himself last night. He said, y'all, I'm not a rookie anymore. I'm a vet now. And I'm a 2-year veteran. That was his own words. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. It looks like we got a Sixer fan in here. Let's see what he's saying. My Sixers sent you guys home. How does that feel? Ooh, how does that feel? How does that feel? I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, Sixer fan, your franchise is in worse shape than ours for next season. Yeah, yeah. Y'all's bench got exposed in the playoffs. Y'all don't have nobody on your bench. Georges Niang is not an athlete. Matisse Thybulle is garbage. I'm telling y'all, you guys have. And Danny Green's career may be over because of your damn big fish flopping all over the place, falling on the ground half the time. We count how many times Embiid's on the floor because he's such an idiot. Your idiot fell on your own player, and he may have ended one of your players' careers. No, we feel real good because listen, if this had been a fair fight from the start and Fred VanVleet had not gotten 2 quick fouls at the beginning of the game, and then your big ugly Frankenstein Will Smith hadn't stepped on our ankle of our rookie, we would have probably beat y'all in the first round. In fact, if Pascal hadn't been hurt the first month of the season, we had a better record. We would have had home court advantage. We would have beat y'all. If y'all were the 5 seed and we would have been the 4. Y'all were lucky to win game 3 that Joel Embiid hit that 3. Y'all were lucky. Oh my gosh, Sixer fan, don't come in here with trash. You don't have enough to talk about. You really don't, because you didn't do much better than us. And seriously, you can act like you had a big accomplishment by beating us, but we were hurt. Gary Trent Jr. had the flu. We had all kinds of different things going. And if we were 100%, we would have kicked y'all's ass out in the first round. Don't get it twisted. So come see us next year. Let's see how it goes down then. We will be better next year. And you guys are actually not going to be better next year. You guys are kind of a dumpster fire on the down low. And you know that's true. If you see sort of deep down in your heart, you know your team is a little bit of a dumpster fire on the down low. Joel Embiid has serious personal problems in some ways with his personality. And James Harden is not a winner. So, yeah, you go ahead and put that egg in your basket and see how far it'll go. Rotten like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, get on TJ. That might be TJ McConnell for all we know. Come on, TJ. Come at us, you little point guard backup motherfucker. I will set you straight. You know that. What else do you say? Embiid is officially the mayor of Toronto. No, he's not. He's the officially mayor of crying in the halls of the Air Canada Center because we put you out when it mattered. What did y'all do this year? We put y'all out and we went and won a championship. Y'all put us out and y'all went out the next round. So fuck you, Sixers fan. You ain't got shit to talk about in this stream right now. Ooh, I'm getting to cut a promo today after all. Ooh, it's a weird Wednesday. It's supposed to be Blue Jays freak. But yeah, I will start cutting a promo on Sixers fan today. I will. What? He's a mayor of tears. He's a mayor of tears. That's what you got right there. Oh my gosh. David S. Yeah, get on him. Laugh out loud. Embiid didn't even play well. Your boy is garbage. Yes, David. Sing the gospel towards him. Paul B saying his face healed. Siakam's elbow feels just fine, is what he says. Oh my gosh. Yes. I hope Joel's face healed. Seriously. I hope his face healed. Seriously. I didn't like him getting hurt. Seriously. And I did not cheer for him getting hurt. We didn't know they broke his orbital socket. We didn't know that. We didn't know that until like 2 days later. And y'all came down on us like we're criminals or something that wasn't even what was happening. We were cheering other things. That's always what happens when these situations happen. We're not cheering injuries. Trust me. We don't want people to get hurt. We like playing the best of the best. That's what I'm saying. Paul B saying is, let's see, Monique saying, TJ, watch out next season. That's right, McConnell. Watch out. You may not even get to see the game. You're not even in Philadelphia anymore. What are you talking all this trash, TJ McConnell? Your short ass. Let's see. Click saying the Sixers' future looks like another tank. Y'all can't develop anything. Seriously, Daryl Morey's an idiot. James Harden's a problem. Doc Rivers, go ahead and have another year, Doc Rivers. See how that goes. Yeah, there's a bit of a dumpster fire there on the down low, and you guys aren't even like looking at it. You know, you deep in your heart, search your soul, Philly fan. You know that your team's a dumpster fire on the down low, and that you are just kind of like that dog in that meme, like, oh, everything's okay, everything's all right, everything's on fire around you. Oh my gosh, TJ saying, we have Embiid, the best player in the world. You know what, motherfucker? This league is moving past big Frankenstein, Will Smith kind of players. The center is dead. You see who's in the finals right now. They don't have a traditional center. Did DeAndre Ayton get there? No. No, he didn't. Phoenix had the best record in the league, and they didn't even get there. Did the MVP, Nikola Jokic, get there, who is actually the best player in the league and not your sorry-ass Frankenstein Will Smith? No, he did not get to the end. So this is the thing. The big center is dying. Y'all did this stupid-ass process for nothing. The league is evolving ahead of this. That your center is going to hold you back. You saw how Precious crossed him up and made him look like a meal that he just ate, feasted on him over and over again in that series. You don't think that's going to happen more next season? Go ahead and play Joel against Precious Achua and see how he gets chopped up real nice and Precious throwing it down on him. Yeah, Sixers fan, there's a little bit of a reality check. You know Joel Embiid is a dinosaur in this league, and he is not going to win a championship. You are crazy if you think the Sixers are anywhere near getting an NBA championship. You will be found out and find out all your flaws, and Joel Embiid is one of them. Your biggest strength is also one of your biggest weaknesses. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a hot promo for you, TJ. Woo! All right. David's saying, Embiid spent more time rolling around on the ground looking confused. Well, he always looks confused. More time on the ground than he did playing. We were counting how many times this man would fall on the floor. That was one of the worst things that could have happened about James Harden coming to that team. He taught him how to flop. He's like, oh, let me show you, Joel, how to flop and try and get foul shots. And Joel just did it to the max. And then he went and hurt Danny Green. He hurt other people, falling all over the place. Dude, the guy hurt himself falling all over the place. Half of his injuries were because he was falling like a soccer player on the court. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard court. You're going to fall all over the place. He's hurting himself. He's an idiot, TJ. He's an idiot. He's a big baby. He acts like a kid. He has the maturity of a kid. He talks like a kid. He acts like a kid on the court. He has not grown up. And that's the mentality of him. I'm telling you right now. David's saying, Embiid spent more time rolling. Yeah, I already read that. Click saying, y'all need Adam Sandler to come help your team. Ha ha ha. Yeah, listen, he's just put a movie out. And listen, this movie's pretty fair to Sixers Nation from what I'm hearing. I'm going to watch this movie tonight, actually, y'all. I'm going to watch Hustle sometime this afternoon. So I will have watched it very soon. Yeah, sure, it's a Sixers movie, but I think it's very fair and balanced about the inner workings of the Sixers franchise, from what I hear, that it's not all glowing and great. It really kind of shows the reality of the Sixers franchise in some ways. So we'll have to see. David S. is saying, yes, he shoots free throws like a trooper. Yeah. TJ saying, and we're getting Bradley Beal. You guys are in trouble. Go ahead and get Bradley Beal. He's washed. This man will shoot 30% for you and be a high. Are you going to play Bradley Beal with James Harden? What kind of team building are you doing? Are you going to trade James Harden for Bradley Beal? Go ahead and get Bradley Beal. We're not afraid of Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is past his prime. He's washed. You go ahead and get Bradley Beal. Go right ahead. Click saying, y'all traded a guy who doesn't shoot for another guy who disappears in big games and only getting older. Yeah, and they traded. The big thing was they traded away their backup center, who was actually pretty good, and Seth Curry. That's the dumbest thing they did in that whole trade. It was a loss for both teams, honestly. Ben Simmons is a loss for the Nets. Harden's a loss for the Sixers. But the biggest fuck up by the Sixers was letting go of Drummond and Curry. You guys were idiots for doing that. That messed up your bench and your depth for the whole year. You were better before that trade with no Ben Simmons and no Harden, honestly. You got worse after that trade. I'm going to tell you that right now, Sixer fan. You may not agree with me, but that is the damn truth. Oh, my gosh, that's the damn truth. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. TJ's really wanting to fight. Ooh, I like this. I'll take down every single statement you have, TJ. All right, let's keep going. Click saying, get all you want. Team chemistry and development wins over all that. Get Bradley Beal. Your defense is taking another hit. You have no pieces for Bradley Beal. Yeah, who are you going to trade? Maxey? You're going to have to trade Harden if you're going to get Beal. So you won't have Harden next year. That may be actually an upgrade. I will say that. If you get that deal, Sixer fan, do it. Go ahead and get Beal and get Harden out there. Seriously, you don't want Harden on your team. The longer Harden's on your team, the more you will just spin your wheels and do nothing. Trust me. Oh, we know. Harden ain't going to win a championship. So if he's on your team, he's basically going to block y'all from getting a championship. I'm going to tell you that right now because he takes up so much of your salary and he is a loser. He is not going to show up for y'all. You know he won't. You know he won't, TJ. Let's see. Kawhi made you guys. Oh my gosh, this guy. No, he didn't. DeMar DeRozan made us. Kyle Lowry made us. Kawhi just came in and got the spoils in that moment. And I'm going to tell you that right now. We're going to win a championship way before Philadelphia gets close to another one. Yeah, we're going to be starting to be a dynasty. I'm going to tell you this right now. Nick Nurse is Greg Popovich. Scottie Barnes is Tim Duncan. And over the next 15 years, you're going to see the Raptors get 3 to 5 championships, starting with this 2019 one. You can put money bet on that. Come talk to me in 2035 and see where we are at that point, TJ. And we'll see where your dumpster fire is still burning. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Raymond Jacobs saying, TJ, only thing Embiid is best at is being the best at being injured come playoffs, or being just a poor sport, being a poor example for young people about how to play the game and how to win. Is acting like that is foolish and it's wrong. And he influences young children to do that in other sports when they're playing, when they're younger, to do airplanes and act like a bad winner. Well, you know what? Somebody's going to get beat up. Somebody's going to get hurt in those lower levels because somebody's a showboat because they've seen Joel Embiid acting a fool. That's what I'll say about that also. Isaac saying, good to see you, Isaac. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Danny Green helped us win a championship. Now Philly is shopping him for a bag of chips. Well, he may be damaged goods, Isaac. I mean, this man has a torn ACL now because of this idiot that this guy's trying to tell us is the mayor of Toronto. This idiot fell on his teammate and may have ended his career on the down low. I'm not lying. Seriously, Danny was no spring chicken at this point anyway. And this kind of knee injury that he got right at the end of the series is horrible. This is what I'm saying. Joel Embiid, you're dangerous because you hurt people, because you're a big oaf. You're like a tree in the woods. Somebody needs to yell timber because when you fall, you are dangerous and you hurt people. And it doesn't matter if it's the other team. It could be your own team. And that's what I'm saying right here. Oh, yeah. Let's see, trade this guy and boo that other guy is your team's theory. We could get into team psychology or fan psychology with Philadelphia. Listen, they are so fair weather. They'll turn on their team every couple minutes. If they're not doing exactly what they want, boo them. We saw what happened when the Raptors kicked their ass in their own building in that series. That those motherfuckers were leaving the court already. Oh my gosh. I would never want to be in a fan nation that's like that towards their team. I'm sorry. I would never, ever want to be a part of that or associated with that kind of garbage. Because you are not real ones. You have no loyalty. You're just opportunists, is what you are. Oh, yeah. All right. See, Paul B saying Orbo socket in their spirits. Yeah, I don't even understand why this guy thinks he has a leg to stand on. Y'all didn't do jack shit in the playoffs, seriously. And if we had been right, the real Raptors, the proper Raptors, we would have put y'all out in the first round. It just didn't exactly work out right. You guys got some lucky breaks, and you got some lucky bullshit too. There was a little bit of help from the refs. There was some bad injuries, some stuff that we could not overcome because we didn't have enough. We have no bench. So if a couple of our guys get hurt, like Scottie, and Fred's not exactly right, Gary's sick, that's what happens. But we still gave you a good fight. And plus, one other thing is our team is one of the youngest teams in the league. They don't have a lot of experience in all the players in the playoffs. And they were just getting their first taste. Well, they got their first taste. I'm going to tell you right now, Scottie Barnes did not like losing to y'all. And he's going to come back and fuck y'all up next season. Watch, he is. And you will be calling him the Dread Baron. Not only because his hair is dreaded like a nice twisted, because you dread playing him. And how he will destroy your team is what I'll say right now. All right, let's see. Monique's saying Kyle Lowry Road looks beautiful, man. Yeah, I seen the sign. I still don't agree with them saying Kyle Lowry Road. It should be Kyle Lowry Way, Kyle Lowry Lane, Kyle Lowry Court, Kyle Lowry Drive. Any of those words have to do with basketball. Why do we have to use road? Come on, City of Toronto, get it right. And don't just put that sign up because it will be gone. It will be gone. You need to put this thing in concrete and make sure nobody can pick it up with a truck or a crane or nothing, and make sure that it just stays there. You just save that money. Go ahead and invest in a really heavy duty sign that cannot be jacked or taken in any kind of way, because it will be taken. Trust me. If you put it as a normal street sign, some people are going to come take it. And I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. People want that in their own bedroom. They're like, Kyle Lowry Road or stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully they can get a more permanent thing where it's really like attached so nobody can come and get it, stuff like that. Let's see. Click saying Kawhi didn't make us. He was the final piece to win. We were building that dream for damn near a decade. What did y'all do during that time? Oh, that's right. The process. Yeah. Failure. Purposeful failure to just spurn more failure. That is the culture of the Sixers is failure. You built that into your identity because of the process. And you don't realize that you can't shake it that easily. That you need to be true to yourself and be a winning mentality like our team. We have a winning culture. You guys have a losing culture. And that is a huge difference right there. All right, see, and Kawhi needed us just as much as we needed him. I won't deny that Kawhi was an essential ingredient for the 2019 championship run. But you know what? We're closer in some ways to getting another championship than he is right now on the down low. In some ways, that is actually true. People may think I'm crazy for saying that, but Kawhi needed us just as much as we needed him. Don't get it twisted. All right, let's see. Tom Duke saying 2019 championship is aging like fine wine. All juicy for us and all whiny for you. Damn, Tom. Damn, that cut's good. That cut's real good, like a piece of cheese with the wine. Ooh, that cheese real good. Ooh, yeah, Tom. I love that statement. That's great. CC's loving this. All right, we're getting a little bit of everything. We're getting a Twitch recap. We're talking about Montrezl Harrell and his stupid 3 pounds of weed. We're talking about Delano, and it's a Blue Jays freak channel today. Weird Wednesday. It's very weird. We got Sixers fan in here talking trash. TJ McConnell. I appreciate you, CC. I'm glad you're here again. Click saying the Warriors winning this year makes our championship all the better. That's exactly right, too. The Warriors are about to beat the Celtics, and we beat the Warriors, but the Celtics couldn't. Ooh, I really hope they can. I really, really do hope they can. And I hope that the Sixers fan, let's get on the same page for a second. Would you really enjoy seeing the team, the franchise that was in your city in the very first year of the NBA that won a championship in 1947, the Philadelphia Warriors, that has moved to Golden State? They win the championship on Thursday night on Boston Celtics home court. I think that you and I can find some common ground here, TJ, that we will both very much relish the Celtics losing on their home court in the finals. Yeah, I think you can get behind that with us. Let's find commonalities and stop coming at us with pointed sticks, because we will point back and I will eviscerate you verbally if you come in here with your garbage like this. That's why I'm not a sitting duck, motherfucker. You come in here, I will come back at you. I will. So come on in. Come on in. You'll get it from me, and then you'll get it from them too in the chat. I'm not lying. Oh, so you come on in here. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. TJ saying Doc Rivers out coached Nick Nursing Home. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, he didn't. In fact, he fucked up. He may have made the biggest mistake that ruined your playoff chances when he left Joel out there and he got hurt. He had no reason to be playing Joel at that point in that game. That y'all had a comfortable lead, and he should have been resting him and protecting him from further injury. And he did not do that. He says that he wouldn't change anything. He's an idiot. He's just a proud idiot, because that single-handedly ruined your championship chances. That decision by Doug Rivers to leave him out there, and then boom, all of a sudden, broken orbital socket, and Joel Embiid is missing the first 2 games of the next series, and y'all are out of the fucking playoffs. So don't tell me that Nick Nurse got out coached, because Doc Rivers made the biggest blunder and ended y'all's playoff run with that single-handed decision right there. I'll tell you that right now. That's exactly why y'all didn't get further in the playoffs. You might have beaten Miami if he had not done that stupid move and left him out there when he did not need to have him in the game. And you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm right about what I'm saying right here. And listen, Doc Rivers has won championship with Boston, 15 years ago? And what the fuck has he done since? He's made excuses all over the place. He's thrown other people under the bus for his own mistakes. He's thrown his own players under the bus at the end of the season. Dude, Doc Rivers is not a better coach than Nick Nurse. Quit dreaming. All right. David S. is laughing. David's saying, take a hike to TJ. Yes, this is all very good. It really jumped up. Tom Duke saying he seems just like a Sixers fan. Shaking my head. Listen, we have Sixers fans that come here and coexist with us, TJ. You just don't know how it is. Blue City's here, Random Gamer. We have real Sixers fans that really love their team, and we coexist. We talk in a respectful way. You can be here in a respectful way, but when you come at me like this in a disrespectful way, you get it this way. And listen, this will be your one time here because after this is done, we'll give this one time, this one shot. After this, you're done. You're muted. You're out of here. You're not going to be on this channel again. We'll give you this one time because you're not showing that you can have the respect and talk to us about basketball in a respectful way. You're just an idiot. So this is what's going to happen. Monique saying Doc Rivers will be gone in no time. Yeah, what are you talking about, Doc Rivers? Doc Rivers was all you guys wanted to fire him. In fact, if Daryl Morey hadn't said he has confidence and he's coming back next year, Sixers fan nation would be all about fire Doc Rivers. In fact, a lot of y'all are still like that. They want Doc Rivers gone because they understand how much of an idiot it is. He's an old coach. The game may be moving past him in some ways. I'm not gonna lie. He may be a part of an old coaching ideals and stuff like that. There's a new era, and I don't think Doc Rivers is in that new era. Let's see. TJ saying Philadelphia is a great place for a movie. It's the foundation of the great United States. Motherfucker, you cannot say the United States is great right now. You have a country where you kill your children in schools. You have a country where the sick and the elderly are in poverty and dying young, like earlier, because you do not take care of your sick and your old. You go back on every fucking stupid shit that you say on things like the Statue of Liberty and the things in your city where you live is all fucking bullshit. You do not live the ideals that you try and tout in the city of brotherly love. That country is racist and it doesn't give a shit about its people. It's all about making money off the blood of them, off their health care. It's immoral, and your country is a dumpster fire. Don't get it twisted. You're about to put in jail your last president. You're about, I mean, seriously, you cannot protect your own children in your schools. That is something to be ashamed of. I am sorry. So there you go. There's my take on your country. And I'm American also. I'm a dual citizen. I'm American and Canadian. I lived in the States half my life. That's why I have a Southern accent. And I know what your country's all about. So don't even come in here with your patriotism, your bullshit. You should not be proud of your country right now. It's a dumpster fire, and y'all need to work on it, like fixing it, instead of acting like y'all are so great, because you're not. You're not great. Your country is a dumpster fire, and they're not a good leader for this world anymore. In fact, you're kind of a blight. You're a bad example. You're kind of like an older brother to Canada that you're kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be anything like them because they're fucking embarrassing is what it is. There's your real take right there, brother. All right, Raymond Jacobs saying hustle good made me and Tom tear up. I'll go get the tissues. I ain't crying for no Sixers though. I'll tell you that right now. And I'll be laughing at every little funny joke, inside joke about how the Sixers are and different things like that. Yeah. Doc Rivers is in. I'm sure that whole part with Doc Rivers is hilarious. I've been hearing it. Click saying you care more about movies than winning. Listen, I think it's cool that the Sixers got they're in that movie and part of it. That's great. Listen, I think that the movies with Adam Sandler and the NBA are fantastic, and there should be more of them because, like, honestly, some of these NBA guys have real acting chops. They may need careers after their playing careers, and they could actually be actors. Who knows? We'll have to see if this happens because of this. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, Raymond, so true, my man. Me, too much for sappy stuff and all the inspiring moments. See, we have hearts. Raptor Freak Cult has a heart. We see inspiring movies. We see sentimental things. We see emotional things, and we feel it. Sometimes I feel like the United States has no heart because they will stab each other in the back. They will kick their poor around. They will forget they're old. They will let their children die. Where are your heart? Where is your heart, America? Search your soul and get better. You need to do better. You need to do so much better. And don't blame Joe Biden because it's not all his fault. He is part of it, but it's a lot of the problem is the party system and the Republicans. The conservatives in the United States are absolute sociopath maniacs at this point. And if you are not going in the centrist place that's trying to work with both sides at this point, you are just a fucking maniac and you're a bad person. I'm sorry. You're obstructionist, you're regressive, and you are causing the problems in the United States by holding up an old ideal of the 1950s being so great and wanting to go back to it. Well, motherfucker, we're going to the future and we're going to drag all your regressive asses with us, whether you like it or not, because that's what time does. It changes things and you can't go back. You will never get the 1950s back. All you old white stupid ass Americans that want to go back to the good old days, you're never going to get it back. So get over it and start getting with us about how we're progressing into the future. Stop holding us back like dead weight and pushing against us. Let us go forward. Repealing Roe versus Wade is the worst idea you have. Doing all this kind of stuff, going against the progress we've already made, is not what we need to do right now. All right, I'm talking politics today. I need to maybe get back on track. We are getting close to 2 hours, and I do want to finish up. All right, let's see. All right, it's TJ saying all we do is hang banners in Philadelphia. What fucking hangers are you hanging? Are the Flyers winning? Are the Phillies winning? I think Blue Jays. Actually, I'm a Blue Jays freak. We beat your ass in the World Series from Philadelphia Phillies. What the fuck are you hanging in? When's the last time the Sixers hung something? It was 1983, you dumbass. You're not hanging any banners anywhere. Maybe you're hanging banners in your house of nice embroideries that your grandma sent you. You ain't hanging nothing that is a championship thing. I ain't seen nothing. What, Eagles? Okay, sure. Eagles may have won one recently. But what the fuck else have you guys done? You've done nothing. You ain't done jack shit in that city. You aren't hanging banners. Oh my gosh, this man, TJ McConnell, you may have got it. You need to go to concussion protocol because your head ain't right. Oh my gosh, David S is saying, "Lord, hang banners. What hang what banners? You're delusional." That's exactly what they're saying. He's joking. He has to be joking. I don't know what banners he's talking about. Your banners, maybe you hung banners in like the 40s, maybe a couple in the 80s around then. No, you're not hanging any banners in Philly. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Click saying, if you're going to make this about Toronto versus Philly as a city, we absolutely kill you. Yes, we're a bigger city. We're a better city. We're a badder city than y'all. Y'all have problems. You seriously do. Don't even get me started on that Kensington area down there and how y'all treat your poor people in Philadelphia. Or the fact that you get like a militarized police against your own citizens in your own city. And it's all racial stuff too, man. Some of the stuff that your police force have done to your own people is disgusting. So listen, don't get me an American bravado, patriotism. I'm talking about how you're a great country, because you are not right now. You need to look in the mirror and be real with yourself. Your country's a dumpster fire, and you guys need to work on some stuff real fast. And some sort of gun legislation is a good step in the right direction. So your children stop needlessly dying. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. David's saying maybe he's confusing Philly for Boston. He's a Philly fan. He's supposed to be in Philly. Yeah, Boston's got way more banners hanging there. Patriots, Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics haven't won in a while, thank God, and they ain't gonna win this one. So yeah, I think you're a little confused. I think that we have been hanging more banners here in Toronto more recently than you have. Even in baseball, like we have 2 baseball ones and we have a basketball one in the last 35 years. What do you guys have in the last 35 years? What? I'm seriously, where's your proof of this? Oh my gosh. Click saying, have all the movies you want. We have some of the best musical talent in the music industry. Oh, yeah, don't even get it started. We got the number 1 guy. We got the number 1 and the number 2 guy, maybe in the number 3 guy. We got Drake. We got The Weeknd. We got Justin Bieber. These are all like the top of the top as far as selling. The Weeknd is the man. Oh, yeah. You may not like Drake's music, but he's on a Michael Jackson level. He is. He is. Click saying we have better tourist attractions and diversity with food. We have better diversity. We have better dealings with race issues in our city. We have all kinds of things that are way better than Philadelphia. Trust me. We have better infrastructure. We have just different, better things than Philadelphia. We can get into this. We have our franchise is worth more money than the Sixers. The Sixers are a way older franchise, and we are valued higher than y'all. We are. We are just above y'all on the Forbes list. So there's another place we beat you. Let's see. Philly cheesesteaks are greasy and overrated. They are greasy. They give you indigestion. Maybe that cheese is just a little gross mixed in with the odd juice from the cheesesteak. Philly cheesesteak. It's kind of gross. Yeah, I agree with this. Overrated. Click is right. JoJo and the Chokers. Oh, I think we might be a visitor. Please rage quit. Please. JoJo and the Chokers. Yes, JoJo. They call him JoJo on the broadcast. Ala Abdelnabi and that fake Doris Burke. They call him JoJo like he's a dog. Whenever they say, go get the ball, JoJo, it makes me think I'm listening to my neighbor in the backyard to play fetch with his dog. Why you call him JoJo? It's like, that's not a good name. That's a R&B singer's name. Maybe you go, that's JoJo, not him. JoJo is such a stupid name. Yeah, Monique is saying it right here. Raptors fan, super fan Monique. Go Raptors, fuck Philly. Yeah. All right. TJ saying, do you guys remember the 2001 Sixers versus Raptors playoffs? I watched this series every few months. I do remember it. I was working at the Air Canada Center at the time. I was at those games. I remember it very, very well. Well, Vince went to graduation. It is what it is. We were a young franchise, and that was the furthest we ever got in the playoffs at that time. I'm very proud of that series. In fact, I'm proud of Allen for that series. I think that the duel between Vince Carter and Allen Iverson was one of the greatest duels of scoring between two players in a playoff series. And that we're proud of that chapter of our history because it's part of our growing pains as an expansion team. And that, that was an epic series. And yes, y'all won, but it was actually down to one shot. And that if Vince had maybe not gone to graduation, maybe he just hit that shot, then it would be a whole other story. And we might have done way better than y'all. Y'all went all the way to the finals just to get beat by the Lakers. Well, maybe if we had gotten the finals, who knows what it could have happened. I don't know. But yeah, we can remember that. I have no problem remembering that. In fact, you can go into my library and you can see all the times I've done watch alongs of that series recently where I've watched them and given kudos to Philly Nation. Seriously, I'm not that much of an adversary against you. You're the one coming with a sharp stick towards me, and I will push back. But if you came in here respectfully and just wanted to talk basketball in a respectful way, maybe a little bit of playful back and forth, but the way you went about it, it was the wrong way. And now you're going to get the ire of me and then all the people that are here also commenting because you're on an island by yourself. You ain't going to have nobody with you here. No, you're not. No, you are not. David's saying, we got a new theme for Fridays. Fuck Philly Fridays. We could do that this Friday if you want to, Dave. It's not worth it. Honestly, in some ways, TJ's like Jake Fisher. We should just ignore him because he's irrelevant. He is somebody that does not matter. And in fact, he's already been determined that he's spreading misinformation when he says things like Philadelphia hangs banners. That's like Jake Fisher speak. Like that's nothing grounded in reality, stuff like that. Let's see. David saying, sounds like you need a life, TJ. I really hope this is TJ McConnell. That would be hilarious. Let's just act like this is TJ McConnell. TJ, you're a good point guard. Sometimes you're what 5'10" or something like that. You're very short for a point guard, and you're very scrappy, and you do get up and down the court very fast. And your shot can be pretty good if you're wide open. You cannot have a defender near you because you can't shoot over anybody in the league because you're so short. So yeah, there's my little player profile of TJ McConnell. Philly has the Declaration of Independence. That's right. And I can respect that. The Declaration of Independence is an important document. And it was really important that the Americans got away from the British. And that's a really important part of the history. There is stuff about Philadelphia that I do really admire. That, there are things about the ideals of what you guys are all about in that city. But what you need to listen to me. It's not about ideals anymore. It's about reality. Sure, you can say shit. You can talk the talk, but you need to walk the walk. If you're going to be freedom for all and equality for all, you better fucking do it for everyone. That means gay people. That means everybody. That means black people. That means everybody. You can't pick and choose America, how you want to do your freedom. And until you do that and it's real, I won't believe your fucking lip service of your ideals and American qualities because they're bullshit. Until you actually do it. It's all talk and no action. You are not actually who you say you are until you do it and you live it and your culture and your society is it. And with all the hate, the racial hate, all the different things happening, there's a bigotry towards gay and lesbian people. You guys are not walking the walk. So you cannot hold your head high with saying, oh, American ideal is this, American ideal is that. Because you aren't that. You're talking like it. It's like actions speak louder than words. And your words don't mean shit because we see your actions. There you go. Woo, I'm cutting some good promos today. Woo! All right, let's see. Oh man, we got a lot here. I got to make sure I get through it all. TJ, no one cares, my man. TJ saying Scottie Barnes would love it in Philly. No, he wouldn't. He doesn't want to be in your trash city. Scottie Barnes is a Jamaican man. He's up here with the Jamaican people of Toronto. Listen, I was with Scottie last night on his Twitch talking directly to him, TJ. This man loves Toronto. This man loves his team. This man loves his teammates. He loves playing for Nick Nurse. He got the right one, baby, because he's on the Raptors. He is so happy he got drafted by the Raptors. In fact, we talked to him about it last night. He said Scottie did not know he was going to get drafted by the Raptors until it happened. And he was very pleasantly and happy surprised. The man is absolutely happy. I don't think he would go to Philadelphia. Y'all are a dumpster fire. There's a lot of dysfunction on your team. He would not be happy there. Seriously, why do you get this stuff? You are so delusional. David saying, ha ha. Tom saying, ha ha. David saying, I don't know if you guys have been to Philly, but the place is an absolute dump. There are parts of Philadelphia that are, see, this is the thing about American cities is that they stratify it. They have different sides of town. Some sides of town are lower economic, some are higher economic. And they really want their rich people want to be away from their poor people. So they put all their poor people on one side of the city and it becomes a war zone. It becomes a criminal zone because people are hurting. They don't have money. They're in poverty. So they do bad decisions and crime. And that's why I believe in UBI. I believe in universal basic income. Is because it solves a lot of crime problems when people have money for roofs over their heads and food in their mouths. And this is the thing, Philadelphia's got like really rich areas and it's got really, really poor areas, really, really bad areas. And until you fix your poor and all this kind of things, your city is a dumpster. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to help those homeless and those poor people in Kensington and different areas of Philadelphia until you can be holding your head high, because these people are hurting. And this really sad what's happening in your city in a lot of ways too, with the drug overdoses and everybody looking the other way. And don't act like that isn't happening in your city. It's really bad there. Really, really bad there. Nick Nurse is saying, Monique saying, TJ, read Nick Nurse's book before you bring stuff up. Yeah. TJ saying Philly isn't a dump. They just like to keep the historical value. I'm all about old buildings and like buildings from the past and history. So I'm talking about the people and how they're treated and how you guys have a lower, like people in poverty that are struggling and you don't help them. You don't have good social programs. Nobody's there to try and lift people up. You don't have anything going for them. You have a whole section of town that is disgusting and horrible and sad. And it's not even those people's fault. It's the system's fault. And I wouldn't be proud of that. That, like I said earlier, a society and a country's measure is how they treat their weakest people, their sickest, their oldest, their people that need help. And the U.S. has no humanitarian heart for this. In fact, they will exploit these people in different weird, sick, disgusting ways before they will help them. So don't even get your head up high and hold so much, oh, I'm so proud of my city, when you have this kind of things happening in your city. Seriously. Click saying Toronto is one of the most innovative cities in North America in the last decade and onwards. Philly ain't got shit on us. Yeah, Click said it right there. I don't even have that on it. Monique saying we can always bring up the 3-1 series lead to you. Listen, yeah, you're conveniently leaving out the championship run, but I don't want to go over history. Let's just talk about the future. Let's talk about the future. And I'll tell you, our future looks way more bright than Philly's. You guys have a couple of issues. There's a couple of people in your organization that are going to be problems down the road. And you know that I'm right. And you know that these people are going to be rearing their ugly head at some point in ways that are going to hurt your team when it really matters, is what's going to happen. Let's see. Rahul's saying at TJ, the Sixers should have tanked for Scottie Barnes. They should have just kept tanking. Rahul, shut up. Don't give them any. We know that tanking doesn't work. That the Philadelphia 76ers tried that experiment, and we know now that it does not work. It's a big, huge failure. It's just a failure on top of a failure. It's like failing to fail to learn that is failing. Stuff like that. We have Rocky Balboa. And you know what? I will give you that. You know what? All right. In the interest of trying to make some things nice, I love Rocky. And that is awesome that y'all have those stairs and you have that statue. And the Raptors went there and did a whole thing when they were in Philadelphia this season and got their picture taken with the Rocky Balboa statue and stuff like that. And Philly people were probably, oh, don't let them come there and be there with it, sightsee. No, listen, I can get on the same page with you about Rocky. Rocky's a fantastic story, great movies, and that is truly a Philadelphia thing. I respect that. There you go. See, I'm trying to give an olive branch your way. And we can do this if it's in a respectful way, TJ, seriously. And I still want to envision you as TJ McConnell talking to us. That's right. Tom Duke saying, TJ, good point, but not much anything to boast about. Nah, Tom, I think it is. Because, like, honestly, Rocky is an icon. Rocky is, Sylvester Stallone was amazing in that and stuff like that. And Sylvester Stallone wouldn't be Sylvester Stallone without Rocky. So, let's give him at least that. We can't give him all the other stuff. We'll give him at least Rocky. All right. Monique's saying back to Raptors programming schedule. All right, Monique's all about we need to get back on Raptors. We're getting sewered down with this Philly fan here. Click saying, yes, Hustle and Uncut Gems, especially Uncut Gems, has become one of my favorite movies ever. That and The Joker. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll have to watch Joker too. I never did watch the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. And I've heard so many good things about that movie. That's crazy that I haven't even seen that movie, stuff like that. So yeah, maybe that'll be a movie day this afternoon with Hustle and Joker on the list. I've seen Uncut Gems. It's a fantastic movie. Rule saying that TJ also just trying to be a respectful NBA fan. If the Sixers don't make the finals within the next 2 years, Joel Embiid will ask for a trade. Just watch. I think Rahul's very realistic about this. He may really feel like your franchise just spins its wheels and doesn't know what it's doing. And that has actually been a pretty good description of the Sixers since the 80s and when they had Barkley. Even when they had Barkley, once Dr. J was gone and that championship year, Mo Cheeks, Moses Malone, once that nucleus was gone, it was just Barkley and it was like Jaminski, Ron Anderson, Johnny Dawkins, Hersey Hawkins, that team that really was the beginning of the dumpster fire. They started to lose a lot more and more as it went on. And the Harold Katz and different people involved with the Sixers were idiots and they didn't know what they're doing. So you guys have like decades of incompetence and ineptitude as a franchise in your front office. So I don't even know where you're coming with any kind of clout. You have no clout, Philly fan, TJ McConnell. You have no clout here in this argument. I'm sorry. Let's see. Tom Duke's saying, yeah, you wonder, he has moments when he wonders why he's staying in Philly. Exactly. He's got to be second guessing things and he's got to hear Heat Nation. Heat Nation wants Embiid down there. They were saying that after the series, like, Joel, come and play with Jimmy because Jimmy wants to play with Joel again. You come to Miami. So, TJ, watch out. You might lose your coveted big baby center there that cries all the time. And he might be in a Miami Heat jersey in like 2 or 3 years if you're not careful. So look out. 1950s had better gas prices probably. Oh, for gosh sake. Yeah. TJ, just real talk real quick. The gas prices are all controlled by OPEC, by the gas companies themselves. And they manipulate the prices to try and like do different things with supply and demand. So that is why the gas prices are high. It's OPEC. It's actually the gas companies that are gouging us at the pumps right now. So yeah, the prices were way better then. Everything was better then. You could have a regular a job without any college degree and be able to afford a huge house, a whole house for a family, have 2 cars in the garage, and your wife didn't need to work. So yeah, the 50s were good, but you know what? The generations since, and like the people from the 50s and different people have fucked it all up. And a big part of it was when Reagan became president in the 1980s. Trickle down economics was a sham, was a big con artist job to send all the wealth up to the very top, to the very rich. And ever since then, it's turned on its head. And nobody, as an average person, can have a good life at a good, decent wage at this point. It's just that people want to make profits in all areas as possible, and they'll squeeze it dry. And the people that got squeezed dry are the ordinary people that used to be able to afford a huge family house and have 2 cars in the garage and have just the father working. The mother stayed home, was a homemaker. You can't do that anymore. Everybody's got to work to be able to pay for the things. You can't, the prices are all like, that's what happened here. TJ, just dropping knowledge is that, America's evolved into this, a predatory kind of country where they prey on the average person to get more money out of them and stuff like this. And the food prices, the gas prices right now is what's happening. And it's those companies. It's not the politicians. It's some of it's the war, some of it's the pandemic because of supply and demand, but ultimately it's the monopolistic oil companies and food companies. There's like 4 or 5 in each one of them that get together and they manipulate the prices and they gouge us at the pumps and they gouge us with our food prices at the grocery store right now. That is the pure truth of it. So yeah, there you go. The difference between now and the 1950s. It was a fair game and it was built more for the average person then than not now. It's not that way anymore. Click's laughing. He's saying ain't hanging shit. That's right, ain't hanging shit. Maybe some of the fans are sad and they're hanging themselves. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's pretty dark. Tom Duke's nice embroideries. Click saying, "No, we violated Philly today. Yeah, I think we did really kind of overstep. I hope Random Gamer and Blue City don't come in here necessarily and understand that this is a pure response specifically to Mr. McConnell today, and not necessarily towards them in the Philadelphia. But we were really pretty raw today, a little raw today. Yeah, I'm as raw as my voice is gone. Yeah, fake Doris Burke. I always bring up fake Doris Burke. You know that's a fake Doris Burke there. TJ saying, I live in Philadelphia, and when I go on vacation, I go to Philadelphia, no other place in the world. Well, congratulations, but maybe you should broaden your horizons, and then you will realize where you guys rank on everything. Come to Toronto, see what Toronto's all about, and then try your argument then. That's the problem. A lot of Americans just get stuck in their one little place. They don't travel out anywhere, and they say that they're the greatest place. Well, how do you know? You ain't gone nowhere else to see if other places are great. You just toot your horn like you're so great. How do you fucking know if you just stay in Philadelphia your whole life? Seriously, seriously. Get out and expand your horizons. Maybe you'll find out. And I mean, listen, I like that you have pride for your city. I'm the same way about Toronto myself. But you know that there's nothing wrong with that. But seriously, you got to broaden your horizons a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Tom Duke's saying it. No reason, Tom. We have Benjamin Franklin. Hey, Tom, don't even. I shouldn't tell him about cosplay Benjamin Franklin stories from when we were doing the series. That'd be hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we had a little thing with cosplay Benjamin Franklin this season. Oh yeah. They also have Will Smith. I don't know if I'd brag about having Will Smith at this point. Seriously, I think he's in trouble. Like, is he still even have a career after what he just did to Chris Rock? I mean, seriously, seriously. And you like how I call Joel Embiid Frankenstein Will Smith? It's like if you took Frankenstein and Will Smith and combined them together, you get Joel Embiid. That's really what I see. You put a couple of bolts in the sides of his head. That's Will Smith Frankenstein, is what I'm saying here. Yeah, Tom Duke saying, why? Do you want him? You know, I know some people would say that about Justin Bieber. It's like, whoa, would you want Justin Bieber here? Yeah, maybe that would be a trade. Would we trade Justin Bieber for Will Smith at this point with Philadelphia? We're doing a little bit of that Chappelle show draft that they were doing where they're trading people like Tiger Woods and stuff like that. Would we trade Will Smith? Would we get Will Smith for Justin Bieber, guys? Is that what we want to do as Toronto? TJ saying we have Tom Hanks in the movie Philadelphia. See, you can't even say you have really Tom Hanks. You're saying you have that movie Philadelphia, which is a very good movie. Denzel's amazing in it. Stuff like that. But yeah, you know what Philly's got? It's not Tom Hanks. You got his son, the one that's a knucklehead, Chet Hanks or whatever his name is. Chet Hanks that's made that video White Boy Summer. That's basically what you got. You don't have Tom Hanks. You have his idiot knucklehead son that's an embarrassment to him. That's who you got. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Tom Duke's blah blah blah, no substance again. Expand your thinking. Listen, this is fun. Like Tom's saying, he should have blocked you an hour ago. See all these wrenches around you, Tom. I mean, TJ. All these wrenches around you. They're sharks. At any moment, any one of them could throw a wrench at you. They're just humoring you right now at this point. And in some ways, it's hilarious. And Tom's saying, "Yeah, I should have thrown a wrench at him an hour ago." It's hilarious. Go ahead, Tom. If you feel like doing it now, go ahead. You guys have the right to do this at any point. I trust your judgment. So David S is saying, can we just boot this TJ clown getting all killed and tilted? Sure. All right, let's see. TJ saying, respectfully, I got a fresh jar of maple syrup straight from Quebec, and I'll just say it could have been better. Oh, man, this is a good slate. Actually, I like his creativity in trying to slate us here. You know, you got it from the wrong province. I'll just say that. You know, get it from out west or something. Like Tom Duke could send you some from BC, and I'm sure it's real good. 100% maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup, and we pour it on the pancake real thick when we get a second half lead over the Sixers in the game. Yeah, we get that. There's already a 10-point lead. Let's pour on some more of that 100% Canadian maple syrup on top of that flapjack stack and with the pat of butter, and just keep pouring that syrup on real thick on top and get that lead up to like 20 points, 30 points. We're going to be pouring on that syrup next year when we play the Sixers and we beat that ass. Trust me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that that was his burn. TJ's cracking on our syrup now. It's hilarious. I love it. Patrick Douglas is here. Good to see another new name. Patrick, I'm here every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I go a half hour. Sometimes I go an hour. Today we're going over 2 hours. Great content. Nothing like politics and sport, especially when you make sense and don't lie. I appreciate that, Patrick. That is really going to be a big calling card for me. I don't think I'll ever be able to go like Will Liu and Alex Wong and go corporate and get on this Fan 590 or Sportsnet because I will never change. I'm an old dog. I'm almost 50 and I ain't messing around. I'm not going to change now. I'm going to speak my mind. And I love the forum of YouTube to be able to get there and have a platform to say this stuff because we do need more people telling the truth. Because the politicians are so full of shit at this point. We cannot trust any of them. It doesn't matter what party they are. And we just need people who shoot it straight and set it straight and talk about the things that need to be talked about instead of the things that are convenient for politics and re-elections and stuff like that. I really appreciate that, Patrick. And it is a big aspect of this channel that we do like to talk about social issues. I will talk about the war in Ukraine. I'll talk about things that are happening politically all over the place. I'm not afraid to do that. And I appreciate that. You found the right channel if you are interested in those interests and Raptors basketball also. And I hope you hit the subscribe button, Patrick. And I see your name more often every morning. I'm not taking a day off this off season. Every single morning at 9:30 a.m. I'm here live on YouTube, and we're going to be talking. And yeah, I'm a Raptors freak. I'm ingesting every single thing Raptors over the day before and bringing it to you. So you're absolutely up to date with what's happening with the Raptors in all kinds of ways, whether they're traveling, what they're doing this summer, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right. Yo, you think you get it. All right. Somebody throw a wrench at him. Seriously, click. Somebody just do it. Just do it. Just throw a wrench at him. We're over with him. All right, let's see. Quick saying the Montreal and weather in Montreal is fire right now. Y'all have a good day. Yeah, it is the weather in Toronto is absolutely fantastic too. It's nice and cool. It's a little bit rainy today, but it's been fantastic. Very mild summer so far. Not too hot, just sunny and breezy, and just a really nice shorts weather temperature lately. And we'll see you tomorrow, David. See you tomorrow. Click. Monique saying, and Masai we trust. Let's go. Draft next week. TJ saying, let's rank the three best players from each franchise and compare. Sixers have Wilt, Moses, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, Iverson. Okay, they just deleted. Yeah, they're wrenching them out. Yeah, I mean, we won't even do that, TJ. Listen, you guys have had a franchise for a long, long time. We haven't as much. It's like we're not going to do this. We have some great players in our franchise. Kawhi Leonard, Vince Carter, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Scottie Barnes. Wait till Scottie grows up. All right, I'm going to finish this up. We went a lot longer because we got sidetracked by Mr. McConnell. Tom Duke saying 2023 Raptors, Maple Leaf, oil can of maple syrup, Maple Leaf, let's go. Tom Duke saying live in the new, live in the now, TJ. That's right, Mr. McConnell. You cannot live all your glory days over and over again. Stuff like that. David saying go Raps. Let's see. G saying, notice how far back TJ had to go for his list. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Allen's fairly recent, I guess. All right. Yeah, he's out of here. Tom, did you throw the wrench on that one? Good job, Tom. Get your wrench stats up. All right, y'all. On that note, we've talked about everything today. Let me just go over real quick. Delano at the Blue Jays game last night. I'm the Blue Jays freak today, just for one day. It's a weird Wednesday. Delano at the Blue Jays game last night. I liked his bling. I liked his pink tinted glasses. Some people are giving him flack for it and stuff like that, saying his look's too feminine. But he has a certain look to him that's actually pretty stylish. In fact, he has such a Snoop Dogg vibe that I just love that like easygoing kind of approachable look that Delano has as his vibe and stuff like that. Congratulations, Patrick Mutombo, for joining the Phoenix Suns. We're going to miss you in our organization. We know you're going to do great things out there in the West. Leonard Miller is now declared to go to the G League Ignite. He's not going to be in the NBA draft now. He's withdrew. Bruno Caboclo, MVP of the Brazilian League. Good job, Bruno. You finally arrived. You have proven that you were somewhere down the line. It may have taken 2 years from 2 years from now to 2 years from now to 2 years from now, but you finally made it. And we're proud of you, Bruno. Scottie Barnes, big time on the Twitch last night. So much fun talking to him directly. He's, I really am feeling like I'm developing an online friendship with our big Roy, and it's so much fun. It's nice to hear him defend our team as a spokesperson for the team from people like Jake Fisher, telling us that all the guys were together in Miami this week, eating at a restaurant and just having a good time. And, he wants to do a meet and greet in Toronto very soon, and hopefully you guys keep track and you can get down there and meet Big Four, Scotty Roy, the 2-year veteran. I love that. And Scotty loves Reese's Shakes, and he would pick bologna over hot dogs if you guys give him a choice. Montrezl Harrell, you're an idiot. 3 pounds is way too much. I know Raymond Jacob thinks it isn't, but in the state of Kentucky it is way too much, and it is a felony. So look out, Montrezl. You might not be in the NBA soon, very, very soon. And that's pretty much it. Check out the Nick Nurse Shot app. It's a new app out that you can help improve your shooting skills from. All right, guys. Tom Duke saying, "Gone see you, sucker." goes. And go Team Canada from Monique. I appreciate y'all all the most. Let's go Blue Jays. The Blue Jays freak is out, y'all, for the day. This has been a weird Wednesday where things were just a little bit off, a little bit weird today. And Patrick, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the things that's really good about the show is that it's live and it's very interactive. It's a two-way street. I'm not our end all be all of knowledge. You guys bring me knowledge all the time and you enlighten me too. That is the way it should be. Some of these other YouTube channels, they're know-it-alls. They want to be like talking down to us and telling us everything they think. That's not what that is here. This is a collective. And I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. It's the Thursday Think Tank. We're going to be focusing on Kai Soto and talking about the draft next Thursday and more about like we just do a general think tank as a hive mind of Raptor fans. And we talk a lot about things that we possibly would like about the Raptors in the future. And specifically, we'll be looking at the 2022 NBA draft next Thursday, not tomorrow, a week from next Thursday. All right, y'all. Thanks again. I appreciate y'all. The biggest way you can help me is hit that red subscribe button. It really is helping me get to 1,000. And when that happens, all kinds of different things will happen with this channel because YouTube opens it up to me. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. TJ, I'm sorry you came in here and you stepped in it. You just have found out it's a little bit of a bear trap. You can come over here and think it's a tasty morsel on that snack. Well, you grab that snack, and now we got you. All right, y'all. Let's go Raptors and go Warriors. Close this out. Beat the Celtics. We want you to beat the Celtics on their home court, Steph Curry. So go get it done. Oh, yeah. All right. You're awesome too, Monique. I love you, Monique Lawrence. You're the best. Tom Duke, Patrick, David, everybody, G, Click, everybody, all the regulars, Lolita, Evelyn, everybody. You're my family. I love y'all and all the best. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on the dot. You know I'll be here on time. All right, y'all. Let's go, Raptors! Woo!